Hey, what's up, you all? Welcome back. I am Van, and we are all the LFR family. Thank y'all so much for clicking play. Hopefully, you click that like button as well. Per usual, let's go ahead and take care of what's most important before we do anything. I want to say, first, giving honor to God, who is the ruler of my life and my household. I want to say thank you, God, for just blessing us with another day. Yeah. Thank you, God, for blessing us with another day, a day we have yet to see before. This is a new day we have never seen. It's a new day we will never see again. That's how unique it is. And I'm not trying to push God or anyone. I'm not perfect. I'm probably the biggest sinner here of us all. And I see people are showing up. I will wait. But I will say this usually, when I was going to church a whole lot. I don't go to church a lot anymore. I used to be in ministry for many, 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 many years. I did praise and worship every single morning. We went to church Mondays, Wednesdays, some Fridays, Sundays. We went to church 2 to 3 services each Sunday. Sometimes at different churches because we were doing different ministries. Sometimes the pastor will go and preach at different churches, and he will bring the choir with him, the choir and the musicians with him. So we will go with him to other churches. So I am so used to being a part of ministry. I actually went to theology school. I didn't go all the way through with it. I studied to be a minister. I actually preached a couple of times, believe it or not. But that's neither here nor there. The reason why I'm bringing up God is because I want us, before we do anything, to just thank God for our blessings. Thank God for being here today. You know what I mean? Thank God for being able to see the sun once again. Thank God for being able to see the walls in your bedroom once again. To feel that water run on your body once again, to see your children once again, to talk to a friend over the phone once again. I think that's worthy of saying thank you, God. That's just me. But again, thank y'all so much for clicking play. Hopefully, you guys are in great spirits. Much love to you all. Yes, we are back. The reason why you see me live again on YouTube is because I'm trying to be honest with you, I'm going to cover some very important issues that are out there, but I am also trying to be safe with the way we do things. But doing things on YouTube and IG and Twitter, any of these platforms, there's actually no such thing as doing it a safe way because we can offend somebody just like that. And that's the issue right there. Everybody is so easily offended. Everybody want to say whatever they want to say to anybody they want to say it to, but they don't they don't want to take it. They act like they can't take it. They can give it, they can dish it, they can dole it out, but they can't take it. So much love to all of you guys. Turn off your TV in search of a problem. Um, Much love to you all. So Robert, what's up? Jimmy, what's up? Angel Rice, what's up? Texas Gal, what's up? Um, Catalia, what's up? Catalia, am I saying it right? Sarah Kittle, what's up? Tom Lenko, what's up? Much love to you all. I thank God to all of you. Um, Let me see. Yeah, weak social media, the fixer 123 on Rumble. We are live right now on Rumble. We are live right now on YouTube. We are live right now on Twitter. And if you are not already a part of our locals, please make sure you join us on locals because we will have exclusive censorship free content over there. The reason why it's important to have a place where you can post censorship free content is because all of these platforms are tripping. You can't trust any of them, to be honest with you. Although you see me on YouTube right now, um, YouTube is where it's at. YouTube pays the bills. What's going on, Shay in 68? What's going on? Terry BKC. What's going on, guys? And if you want to be a mod, if you want to help out on this live stream, please let me know, so that I can make you a mod. Just put your hand up, or put up a 100 sign, or put thumbs up or something if you want to help out. That would be amazing. If not, cool. I don't expect you to, but please, if you enter in this live stream, please do me a favor and click the what you call it, click the like button for me. If you can hit the like button, that would be amazing. That would be really cool. Let me see. Hold on one second. Yeah, that would be really cool if you can hit the like button for me. That would be really dope. Thank you so much. Let me see here. I'm making a couple of you mod. Please don't make me regret that by being mean to people. Because I know as soon as you make someone a mod, they start kicking people out and they start being bullies. Please don't be bullies. All right, so we're going to have a good conversation today. One other thing, I don't know if you were here yesterday for the live stream, but I brought people up on stage and we had conversations. I will, in a moment, place the link for anyone who want to come up here and be a mod. Nice to meet you too, Adrienne. Much love to you all. Um, much love to you all. Hopefully, you're showing everyone the same type of love that you show me, because that's important. That's the only way we'll be able to change anything in this daggone crazy world. When he's in jail, see what you have. See what you have to say. When he's in jail, see what you have to say. Marquise Ford, do you think that Trump is wrong? Do you think that he is guilty? White Trash TV, what's going on? My friend from yesterday, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, White Trash TV. Much love to White Trash TV. Hey, Sherry. Let me see. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'm making people mods right now so they can help me out. All I need for people to do is to hit the like button. Need a couple of people to come over and join our locals. And also just let me know if anyone is down here inside the chat who would like to join me in conversation. What I want to know is what do you think about the current state of politics, society, social media. I want to hear what you have to say. And I'm about to put this link in here right now. I was going to hold off for it. Supercraft, what's going on? What's up, Lou Valentino? Hey, we got Lou Valentino showing up just to say what's up again, man. Much love to Lou. Much love to Lou. And yesterday he was up here on the stage with me. We had conversations with one another. We had conversations with other people, other guests, and that was absolutely phenomenal. So I really appreciate that. Much love to you all. Thank you so much, Chris, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love to Alaska as well. We're going to have a good conversation today. One thing I do want to talk about is Trump. I want to talk about Trump. I've heard enough to let me know that the other side might have something on him. They might have something on, like Trump might be in real trouble. All right. Yeah, it's a witch hunt. But, Pence snitched on him. Pence let people know that, yeah, he tried to get me to do something illegal, but I said no. Pence sold him out. Pence threw him under the bus. Pence, who was his right hand man at one time, just said, screw you. I'm saving myself. Pence is a sucker, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, I believe, and like Dan, I see what you said, Deborah, about Dan Bongino being worried about Trump's life. I think, I think if Trump is released from all the charges, from all of his charges, and he's able to run again, I believe that his life could potentially be in jeopardy because there are some sickos out there who do not want to see Trump run. They don't want to see him run. All right. And they don't want to see him win. So there you have it, folks. Listen, I'm putting the the link up here for anyone who want to come up here and have a conversation with me. Um, the link is right there. Click that link if you have the brass, if you don't mind being judged, if you have something to say. Today, I will give you two. We will have 2 minutes. Yesterday, I spent a great deal of time having conversations with some amazing people. I talked to Clark. I talked to Diane. Of course, I talked to Lou Valentino. I talked to Leanne, Lena. I talked to, we had Dakota up here with Jeanette, who is also lover of Jesus and humanity, who was up here. Shout out to Dakota, our youngest guest ever on the show. Our youngest guest ever. Much love to you guys. And for all the people who don't know, I've been gone because I was out on two strikes on the channel. And just like baseball, YouTube is they go by the three strikes you're out moniker, and I'm not trying to get struck out. All right, at all. Please hit that like button, guys. The link that you see above is for anyone who want to click it and come up here and talk to me. I would love for anybody who oppose my views to come up here. I would like for anybody who has information on Trump to come up here. I would like for anybody who has something of any substance to add to what we're doing on this channel. And just if you want to come up here and say, hey, if you have frustrations with what's going on in the world, come up here, hit that link, join me just for a moment, and let's hear what you got to say. But I doubt that anybody who has something against what we stand for in this channel to come up here, because usually those are the people who like to hang out in the shadows. They like to talk trash and send me crazy emails. And hey, Deborah, thank you so much for helping out. I appreciate it. What's going on, Carlos? And thank you for the super chat too. I saw that come up. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me put this up here. That was put up here by Chris McClure. Um, thank y'all so much for putting the super chat up here. Who do we have up here? Who is this? Your name Christopher? Christopher? Is that Christopher McCall? How do you say it? Can you hear me? McClue? McClure. Okay. So we have somebody. Oh, Chris McClure. You're the one that gave the super chat. Thank you so much, bro. Your name that you put on here does not say Chris McClure. It actually says Christopher minus the P. I don't know what that says. All right, I'm gonna bring you up in a minute. But first, I'm gonna pull up one of the OGs that pulled up, and his name is Big Craig. That's what people out in Vegas know him as. They know him as Big Craig. What's going on, Big Craig? How you doing, man? How you doing,
I'm
brother?
good, man. How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly
I'm
favored, man.
good,
Just
brother.
doing
How
my
you doing?
thing. I'm doing my thing like I always
Yeah.
do, man. Just talking to good people per usual and trying to make a difference, man. Um, but thank you for pulling up. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. You know, all the time. I ain't got no problems talking to no one, even if they want to disagree.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think you didn't vote for Trump.
um, I did
You did?
both times. Yeah.
What?
Um,
I'm
well,
surprised. I
my
didn't know
thing
that.
is like I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I think that's. I mean, it's those are 200 years old. I vote American. I
I
vote
get
for
it.
what's best for my children. I don't care about the rest of this stuff. Like
Much
once I
love.
had kids, it wasn't about me anymore.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, and
And
hopefully all adults start thinking that way. All adults need to
I
start
mean,
thinking
it
that way.
used to be that way.
What's your
Remember
big?
back in the day, we had songs about it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. What's your biggest issue with what's going on today in politics, bro?
um, the
Or
misleading,
period? They're misleading.
mi- the misleading that politics has. Like just the fact that they use us against each other. I mean, cancel culture itself. It's a tool that the government's using to censor everyone.
That's right.
It's like and it's free. It's free to them.
That's
They're
right.
they're not even the ones pushing it. It's us doing it to each other. And as long as we keep fighting each other, government's going to win.
And we're doing their jobs for them. We're doing exactly what they want us to do. They set us up and we just knock it down. They tell us to do something, we do
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah.
I think it's just it's old views just to be stuck in like and every to each their own. You know me, I don't judge. This is my opinion and my opinion alone. I'm not trying to force it upon anybody. It's just how I feel. I just can't see how you could just be solely a Democrat or solely a Republican. I just don't think anybody has the answers. It would be like me talking to my wife and thinking that I'm right all the time, and when we know I'm wrong all the time.
Well,
According to her, actually.
no, 100%. I get you because I'm in the same boat. How long have you been married, bro?
Well, technically, we're not married, but we've been together 13 years.
13 years. That's dope. That's dope. All right. So check this out. I'm with you on the fact that some people just dedicate themselves to one party, no matter what they stand for, no matter what they represent, no matter anything. They're just like, this is my team, like the team on your hat, Eagles. They just rep.
Oh, I had to rub that for you. Rub it in.
Not,
We're gonna give it to you again this year.
Listen, for people out there who don't know, man, I'm from Washington D.C. and my team sucks, but I stand by my team every single year because that's just what I do. But some people do that with their political stances, no matter what their side stand for, good, bad, or indifferent. They still rock with them. I don't understand that, man. Sometimes we need to think for ourselves. If we got to buck the system, buck the system. If Trump do something that's against what you stand for, speak out against it. If Joe Biden's family is so full of sugar honey iced tea, it's crazy. But guess what? Democrats, I don't know a Democrat out there who's going to publicly say something negative about the Bidens. I don't want anybody to say anything about the Bidens negative. Because we need more positivity, we need more love. But I do like when people call out things and be truthful about it. Be truthful. So what? Everybody got a family member that's a crackhead. Everybody got a family member.
Something, right? Something in there. No family's perfect. I agree. I 100% agree with that. Like, I don't agree with everything Trump does. I think he was doing a good job. The thing I liked the most about Trump is he was attacking this whole children getting attacked thing. Yeah. Like he wasn't about that. Yep. And I appreciate that because I have kids, and I know a lot of people have kids, and our worst fear. It frustrates me that my kids can't have the life that I had because they can't take their bike around the block without me having to make sure that they have a cell phone so they can fucking call me.
Yeah.
What the heck are we doing as a society that with my neighbors, with my country, I'll say my whole country, that I can't let my children out, and you as an American won't make sure that my children are safe.
That's right.
How is this not a thing? How is this? How we come so far that our kids aren't even safe to play outside anymore?
That's right.
Like, what is this? What are we doing to each other? Why are we like it? I mean, you remember when it used to all be about the community?
Yep.
Your neighbor would smack your butt and send you home, tell your mom on you. Like that stuff, it's like we don't care anymore, and it's sad. Like we need to get back to putting putting each other first and
That's
not
right.
just our views first.
That's right.
Because
No, you good. You good.
it's
Go ahead, bro.
it's just frustrating. It makes me mad because you know me, I love people. Like I want the best for everyone. And it's annoying to watch what's going on right now because it doesn't seem like anybody truly has our back. Not even our neighbor that's living in the same conditions we are. They're looking to get over on you too. And I'm like, I'm here with you, man. I'm right here next to you. Guess what?
Um,
I got your back.
That's
I'll,
right.
I'll pull your trash cans in so you don't get a ticket from the community for having your trash cans out too long.
Yep.
Because that's what we're supposed to do. That's
Yep.
that's that's what being American was. It wasn't that we were able to be individual thinkers and be okay with disagreeing because that's how we moved forward and we got to know each other and changed our views. And now it seems like you can't have a different view than anybody and be correct at the same time.
Yep.
Like, why
Absolutely,
can't
bro.
we both be right?
And that's called being adult. That's just called being like considerate of somebody else's thoughts, somebody else's concerns. Like back in the day, like what you brought up, we used to get ghosts for the entire day. Like we would leave home, be gone, and we would be safe. And we come home when we need something to drink. We'll come home when we need something to eat. We'll come home just for a rest, but we'll be safe. Well,
Safe.
more
You
safe than
didn't.
today.
You didn't even have to like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said more safe than today anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like you didn't even have to. You didn't even have to tell your parents where you were going because the parents on the other side already knew who you were. They would. I shit. I got my best friend growing up, Nick. His mom will tell you, God rest her soul. Man, she would smack the shit out of me if I got out of line. I'd get this shit smacked out of me if they got out of line and I didn't tell them to get in line. I was like, no, his brothers are way bigger than me. I ain't saying shit to them. I'll take my smack.
Can you
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but could you instead of saying the whole poop word, can you say ish or sugar honey iced tea or crap or
Oh yeah. Sorry, you know me. Expletives are my best friend.
hey, hey, I'm good with expletives too. I just know for a fact that anything we put out there on YouTube that they can use for us not to be seen and not to be heard. Unfortunately, we will be dinged and so we will violate something by doing that and just speaking openly. But what you said, man, 100%, bro. Thank you so much for pulling up, Craig. Anything you got to
Oh
say?
man, anytime.
Anything you got to say about this whole Donald Trump Jan 6 investigation?
I mean, I think it's all connected. Like if you look at what's going on right now, child trafficking is the biggest thing that is a problem in America right now. Let's like, and if you don't think that's the biggest problem, like you got a problem. That's how I view that because there should be zero children being trafficked. And like he had FEMA tents set up in New York pulling babies out of the ground. He was making strides on that stuff. That's what I said the first time too. Um, um, it's just really it's like, what's the word? I can't think right now. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why are you trying so hard to keep him out if you're really against child trafficking? Why are you trying so hard?
Well, the
Why are
reason
you
why
putting, like, anytime something happens, oh no, wait, we got this now for you, because he was doing something, and everybody who's anybody has a hand in that stuff, and it's coming out right now, and if you do any kind of digging, it'll show, and it's everybody. And so that's what I think this is. I think this is a way to try to keep him from running again, because they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose Easy Street.
Yep, they're trying to keep him from running again. That's all this is about. They want to keep him from running again because they know that if he runs, Chris, wherever you are, come back, please. Chris McClure, come back, please. I saw that you left. You might be having technical difficulties or something, but please come back. Yeah, they're trying to get this dude from not running again. They're doing whatever in their power to get him to not run again. New news came out with the Bidens. Oh, we need to hurry up and put another indictment on Trump. We need to hurry up and do something that will get him arrested because and right now Vivek Ramaswamy is very close to being the front runner on the right. But as long as Trump is in the race, Trump will always be the front runner, man. Hey, Craig, thank you so much for joining us,
nobody
man.
trumping Trump.
Ain't nobody,
no problem, brother.
Ain't nobody trumping Trump, man. I'm about to go ahead and bring up another player. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you, Big Craig. And also, before you leave,
no problem, man.
Before you leave, I just want to let people know this brother right here, Big Craig. This dude was one of the very first supporters of the channel. Very first supporters of the channel. We're about to, if YouTube don't take our channel down, just for our speaking truth, we could cross the 1 million mark. But you came when we had how many subscribers?
1,500.
1,500. 1,500.
Yeah,
come on,
I still have that screenshot when I joined. It pops up every once in a while, and I'll think about that.
Well,
hey,
I just want to say I appreciate you.
Can I real quick just tell everybody, like,
go ahead.
I want everybody to know who Van really is, man. So when me and Van first started like talking and clicking, my daughter was going through some stuff, and she was 9 years old at the time, and she was talking about silencing herself, if you know what I mean. And I talked to Van and asked him to do a birthday reaction for her favorite song. And the turn of my daughter was, it was like 720. It wasn't even, it was, she just came out of that, and that's who Van is. Like, anybody who wants to think that he's anything other than a good person, you're wrong. He's a good dude, and he means what he says, and he's always been there for his supporters when they need him. Like, much love, brother.
Much love to you.
Take care,
and your
man.
Family, man. Please tell Alicia and the girls I said hello and thank you again, my brother. I really appreciate you, man. You've been really instrumental to
Riley's right here.
Hey, Riley. Uh-oh. Hey, sweetie, that is see, now we have the cutest person to ever be on our live. This is the cute. Hi, Riley. Thank you for showing us the young lady.
That's no problem. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Yeah, I have a blast. All right. Peace, bro. That's what I'm
talking about. You too, brother.
All right. So we're about to pull up my man Chris now, because Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. That's not while I'm pulling them up, but he did give a super chat as well, and we really appreciate that. But Chris, you was actually here before Craig pulled up, and I apologize for keeping you on hold. But don't you know what it's like when you see like one of your old friends walk down the road and you're like, oh, wait, I'll be right back with you. One second. You know what I mean? And then you start talking to an old friend. That's what it was like seeing Big Craig. But it's definitely a pleasure seeing you as well, my brother. How are you doing today?
Hey man, I'm hanging in there. I've been on your YouTube channel for at least a year now.
Oh man, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your support.
I want to say one little thing quick.
Go ahead, big dog.
I have cancer, and I find out Thursday if it's gone.
Wow. When did you find out you had cancer?
This past year.
Wow, man.
But I've
Um,
had a brain tumor for 25 years. I've had 5 brain surgeries.
wow. And clearly you've survived them all because you're here with us today.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? God have all of us go through our own things.
We're here for a reason.
We're here for a reason. We're if it's not just to cross paths once and spread love once and put our positivity on somebody else's. But I'm glad that you and I cross paths, man. And I thank God for you.
Hey man, I appreciate it, and I just want the world to know that you are inspiration to a lot of people out here.
Well, I don't know about all that, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I have a question for you, Chris.
I might have an answer. I don't know.
All right, cool. Who are you pulling for in 2024 for president of the United States?
As of right now, I'm a Trump supporter.
As of
Uh,
right now.
well, I haven't seen anything in the past last term or the term before when he ran for president that's changed my mind yet. So probably won't.
Probably won't. Well, let me tell you something. I think when you start to see people doing what they're supposed to be doing, you then start to see a bunch of evil rise up against them. Right now, what we're seeing is evil rising up against Trump. They don't want this man to become president, and it's a reason. And I want to know that reason. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to vote for him. And I did not vote for him. I voted for. Please don't be mad at me, guys. I voted for Biden. I did. I've been registered. Here's the thing: I grew up in an extremely Democratic city. My family is extremely Democrat. Extreme Democrats. Um, my friends, extreme Democrats. And you got to imagine that I put a sour taste in a few people mouths who know me growing up. The fact that I'm starting to look further into politics and I'm leaning more toward conservative values, and that does not sit well with a lot of people who know me or who are family with me. But guess what? I don't care because it's all about making sure we preserve this country. It's making sure that my family actually has a country to have their own families in 100 years. Because right now, the way we're doing things, we're accepting of everything. We're going against God's law. We're going against the Constitution. Every single thing that's been written to help us be where we are today, everyone's going against it. And I have an issue with that. I don't hear you, big dog.
I said I don't want. I might have lost you.
Okay. All right. But yeah, but that's where I am right now, bro. When do you going for your surgery? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I
Okay.
can hear you now. When do you going for
Um.
your surgery?
Well, I've had 5. And I just got done with cancer treatments, and I go next Friday and next Thursday to see if it's gone. I
Wow.
go I go see my cancer specialist next Thursday.
Well, I pray to God that when you go, you receive the news that we all hope and pray that you receive, that is gone, is removed from your body, and that you can move forward with your life, spreading love the way that you are. And you know what? I'm going to thank God in advance for you, you not having cancer in your body. That's what I'm going to do. I'm
Man, I
gonna,
appreciate it.
yeah, I'm gonna praise God in advance for you not having cancer in your body, and I hope that everyone out there would do the exact same thing, man. God bless you. God keep you. God bless your family, and God bless this country, my man. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man.
Now, one other thing before you leave, I have everyone do this. Please say whatever you want to say to the people about the country for the country, whatever you want to say, bro.
Man, I just pray that we heading in the right direction. Um, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and uh, I don't. I grew up, had black friends, had white friends, had Mexican friends. If I make it to my birthday, which is Saturday, I'll be I'll be 49 years old,
Wow. Wow.
and you know, I just pray that God puts us on the right path no matter what.
All right. Well, I'm with you right there. I second that prayer. And you will make it to your birthday on Saturday. And I'm going to say happy birthday. I'm going to be the first one to say happy birthday to you. Saturday, you will be turning 49 years old, my brother, 1 year short of a half century, which is absolutely phenomenal, man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother, and you enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you so much for your support. And I look forward to seeing you up here again. You really did add to the live stream, even if you don't believe you did or not. You did. Much love to you, man. And we pray that all cancer leaves your body and that you
I
have an
appreciate
amazing
it.
birthday, brother.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right, peace, my man.
Later.
Yes, sir. All right, so next up. Who is this? Kicks? Is your name is Kicks? That's cool. You got the coolest name, Kicks.
What's good, man?
Everything's good, man. God is good. That's what's good. God is good all the time, man. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, actually. I wanted to come on here. I've been watching you for a minute. I love your stuff, man. Keep doing what you're doing, representing God and showing people a different perspective on politics and other things. So yeah, much love for that. Much respect.
Thank you, brother. Much love to you. I see you repping that flag proudly behind you. You ex-military?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for your service, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was in the Navy during the Persian Gulf War, and then I was in Iraq in 2004 in the Army. Came back with PTSD, so I got my own little issues, but that's why I'm on social media, so I can take my mind off of things, focus on other things and God.
Absolutely. Now, I know a few people who have PTSD. I mean, it's PTSD, right?
Yeah.
Are you being taken care of properly while you okay?
Because
I heard that
the whole VA process, which some people have a bad experience. You get out what you put in at the end of the day. I have a medical service dog from a great organization that works with veterans and first responders. I started a small custom shoe business to take my mind off of PTSD as therapy. I breed sugar gliders. So yeah, I stay pretty busy.
That's what's up. What's the name of your business?
CMB Custom Kicks. Yeah.
Okay, Custom Kicks, CMB Custom Kicks.
Yes, sir.
And is that the website?
Actually, I don't have a website. I'm basically just on platforms. I have YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Clapper, IG, a bunch of different sites.
Okay, I had to make sure you get that information out there because good people, when they do good things, should get all of the praise and accolades that you possibly should get. How are you getting your word out there? How are you getting your brand out there? How are you letting people know what you're the service that you provide?
It's like I said, it's all based off of my different platforms. I put out content doing customs, whether it's hydro dipping or airbrushing, all of that. I just get out there. I've got people that contact me from all over England, Canada, Fiji. It's cool.
Wow.
But to stay on topic with you, I'm a Trump supporter. I am. Okay. I do have a concern if he ends up becoming the nominee and if he becomes president again. We saw how divisive the country became while he was president, and that the constant barrage of attack. And now with all of the indictments and the nonstop barrage, right?
Mm-hmm.
My fear is if he becomes president, how much more is that going to ramp up? How much is not going to get done because of that focus on just taking him down? We saw it in the first term. Now it's grown exponentially.
Yeah.
That's my.
It's going to be a constant poop show is what it's going to be. And people who wasn't able to reach him and hit him and punch him before, they're going to be pressed to do it this time around. And they're not going to try to whatever laws he tried to put into place, they're not going to adhere to him. They're going to protest every single thing he does. And it makes absolutely no sense, because the only reason why you would do something like that is if they was the president for the last 4 years and they did absolutely jack sugar honey iced tea. But we see that Joe Biden was the president, and he is the one that did not a damn thing in his presidency, but F up and do a whole bunch of criminal activity. But I'm not even going to get into that. I like the fact that you brought that part up right there. Let me ask you this. I was looking at the indictments. I was looking at the first, the second, and the third one. It looks like, and this is just me, because I'm not that into politics, but I'm trying to pay more attention now, because I believe that that's my responsibility. Having a channel, I need to be more learned. I need to have some information. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I'm finding that he did kind of screw up by when he asked Pence to not necessarily look the other way or overturn voting machines or anything like that. But isn't that against the law? Isn't he guilty for that? Or am I missing something?
I mean, this is my take.
Uh-huh.
The First Amendment says that political speech is legal, right?
Okay.
He didn't force Pence to do anything. He asked, right? Just because you ask somebody to do something doesn't mean that you're breaking the law, right? I ask you to go rob a bank and you don't do it. I didn't break the law by asking you to rob a bank.
Right? That's true. Now, let me challenge you.
Said, can you just slow down, pump the brakes on this for a minute, because there's states we got to contact.
Right.
So to me, I think it's a stretch for them to try to go that way.
Okay. So when he was like, yo, we just don't want to count them all right now because they all have not been counted. There's some other people that we need to consider. Put the kibosh on this right now. Don't get rid of them. Don't throw their votes out or anything like that. But just let's not, call it yet. Let's hold up a little bit. That's what he was asking them to do.
That, from what my understanding was, he was just saying, pause it. You as the vice president, you can put this on pause. Mm-hmm. You can say, you know what, we have extenuating circumstances we got to check into. That's the kind of thing I'm seeing. But just to ask somebody to do something isn't a violation of any law.
Now, let me ask you this. If you ask somebody to, and I know this is a stretch, but I'm giving you a side this is a liberal, democratic argument right here. If you ask someone to commit a murder for you and they don't do it, but you ask them to do it, isn't that criminal?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, did you exchange money? Did I pay you up front?
No.
So by asking people, that's what free speech is, right? I can ask you anything. I can talk about anything, right? And if you went through with it, well, then, yeah, definitely I'm guilty because I kind of asked you to do something for me that's criminal. But if you didn't, did I actually break the law?
You did not.
That's the real question.
You did not. You're absolutely right. Now, with that said, if he's not guilty of anything, why is it he's being kicked off of all social media networks? He's being shadow banned, and you have the largest, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, you have the largest podcaster in the world who will not bring him on his show to have a conversation with him. I'm talking about Joe Rogan, to be specific.
I think it's a catch-22. It's a double-edged sword, right?
Right.
He's not being allowed anywhere. He's being silenced because he went up against that deep-seated machine that runs things behind closed doors, right? And it's become to the point now with cancel culture and everything else that even to have him on your program for, let's say, Joe Rogan, that's a cancer. That is toxic. That could destroy you just for having him there. So it's a kind of catch-22.
Here's the thing, though. I think Joe Rogan is beyond being destroyed on social media. I think he's past that. I don't think there's one person he could interview that will destroy his career. I think he has ironclad. I think he has the green light to interview whoever he wants to interview. I mean, he interviewed Kanye West.
True.
And
True.
Kanye West was talking about the people who allegedly run the world, the people who allegedly finance everything. And I'm not going to say those
True.
people, but
That's very true.
Their names rhyme with shoes, and that's unfortunate too. Like, you can't even say certain things
Right.
without being cast away or without being canceled. I really don't believe in cancel culture, but when you have large organizations like Google, for instance, when you have content creators say a thing or talk about a certain topic and they are deleted, they are demonetized, we are demonetized, we receive strikes and community guideline restrictions and whatnot for talking about something, that right there tells me, you know what, maybe cancel culture is a real thing, because clearly they're doing it to us and they've done it to other people. They've done it to Trump. And as a matter of fact, they use it for their own benefit when it comes to the 2020 elections. They use it to their own benefit when they hid a whole bunch of information about Hunter Biden that would have prevented a bunch of people from voting for Joe Biden. They told everyone, you cannot post anything about this, or it will be on the same lines as child pornography. And that's crazy. So
I agree. I think the cancel culture thing in general, I think it's different now with social media, right? You, for example, social media is now your way of life. That's your business. That's where you make money, right? So you got to live within those parameters, because cancel culture can destroy you, right?
Yes.
But then people like me, who I did social media as an outlet, right? Cancel culture, I could say something on my stuff and they could come after me. I've been kicked off of IG just because of certain shoe designs they didn't like, right? But that's fine. They can't silence me. Only God can silence me. And that's just when
Amen.
Hard, right? You can kick me off of your platform and there's other ways for my voice to be heard, right? I think the people that need to concern themselves with it and get worried are people like you who make that their living, right? It'll affect you a lot more than it affects me. And that's nothing wrong with that. I understand where you're coming from.
Well, it's unfortunate that, you have people that, when we can't talk about what's going on in the world. We can't talk about the dangers that our children are facing against people who want to traffic them. We can't talk about January 6th. We can't talk about the jab. We can't talk about, it's certain things we can't talk about, but on the same level, you can have people killing people on camera. You can have people showing all of their parts, their body parts, and doing sexual activities online. You can have people jumping people, beating up old ladies, and like all of this other demonstrative stuff. You can have that for, what's that for? Just for entertainment, because we want to see the shock value of the worst things that's happening around the world. Because there's still snuff films on every single platform that you name. It's just behind a wall.
Absolutely. Yep. And I think that goes back towards just the way people view the Constitution and how they try to manipulate and twist things, right? In order to make sure that their agenda gets pushed, make sure that it's their way, instead of people being able to have opposite opinions and talk freely about it like we're supposed to.
Yeah, I like that right there. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
You're white.
Yeah.
Are you racist?
I don't think so. My wife is my wife's father's black. I have black nephews. They come hang out. I love them. I've never seen race as far as that. I judge a person by their character. How you treat me, that's how you get treated, right? God made us all in his image. And if I attack you because of the way God created you, then I'm basically attacking God, because you're made in his image, right?
Man, see, your message need to go out there. Your message needs to like extend beyond your camera. That was a phenomenal answer right there. Not because you have black family members, not because, it's just simply you and I are the same. And
Right.
if I attack you for being different, I'm attacking God. That right there is a bar, man. That's a bar, bruh. I love it. And the only reason why I asked you that, just to let you know why I asked you that, is because there are people in this country who believe simply because you're white, you're racist, you're
Right.
part of a racist system,
Right.
and you benefit from it daily. You benefit from the detriment of a whole other
Right.
people simply
Right.
because you're a different hue.
And if I can respond to that, I think that's we all know that's a very narrow-minded, right, way of looking
Yes.
at it. But let's take that beyond things. If you wanted to get to know me, my ancestors didn't even come to this country until slavery was done. My family had nothing to do with it. My grandfather was
Wow.
first generation born in America. I'm third generation. We got here in 1900s. That was over, right? So you can't even. People say that to me all the time. Well, you got racist. I'm like, no, my people weren't even here when that happened. I don't know what to tell you.
What about 1619?
What about it?
He said, what about it?
I mean, legit. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Hey, listen, it's just one of those things. And honestly, I asked you that because not even to belabor the point, because I already know good people look at the world and focus on the important things. Like, all right, fine, let's get over this whole. You want to talk about race? Okay, we'll attack that just for a moment, just so you can be satisfied, so we can move the hell on. Because when you look at where we are right now as a country, that's the smallest issue right now.
Right.
We have way more important things to discuss.
Right. But like Lincoln said, a house divided can't stand, right? So we got to be divided on everything. We got to be divided on race, religion, sexuality. We need to be divided on everything, because then we're so focused on stuff that don't matter. They can do stuff around the back door. We ain't even paying attention.
That's true. And that's what they do all the time. Hey, look over there.
Exactly.
As they do whatever they want to do and screw up whatever they want to do. We look over there. Next thing you know, there's no more flags in the schools. We look over there. There's no more God in the schools. We look over there. Teachers cannot. Teachers have to put rainbow flags all around their class. It's like
right
every single time. Like, come on, man.
Exactly. And it's all forms of division. Divide and conquer.
All forms of division. And it's unfortunate, but with people like yourself constantly just speaking truths, being positive, and calling people out on their sugar honey iced tea, not so that you can judge them, but so that they can fix it and we start working together. That's
right.
the way that we're going to move forward, bro. Thank you so, man. Kicks, much love to you, man. Please don't make this the last time you appear on the channel, for real, man, because I really enjoy talking to you.
You too, man. I appreciate it. Keep doing what you do. Tell your son hi. He's killing it. I love watching his stuff, man.
LFI Jojo, what's up? He's actually right behind me, and like his workspace is behind this wall right here. And when he's doing videos, he's just so daggone loud, and I'm just bruh. But he does his thing. Thank you so much for supporting Jojo, man. I appreciate that. That's my guy right there.
We needed his quiz. His what party are you quiz? And I'm dying.
He actually told me, he dared me to take the quiz. He said, take it live. I said, I don't know, man. I'm scared.
Do it. Don't be scared. It's weird though, because I've always been in the middle. But because of the way society has changed so much, I actually ended up taking that quiz and ended up on the far, far, far right, which I've never been.
Yeah.
But it's because the far, far, far right now is what focuses on the Constitution. It's weird. Other things go left.
Yeah, what moves you further to the right is simply saying what a man is, saying what a woman is, saying what, you know what I mean? Just saying that a man and a woman should be in a nuclear family, saying stuff like that. This is craziness.
The stuff we didn't worry about in the 80s, man. Now look at it.
And that just moves you further over there. No, you're way over there now. Just ridiculous. Thank you so much for pulling up, my brother. Much love to you, your family, and everything, bro.
You too, man. Take care. God bless.
All right, peace. God bless as well. That's what I'm talking about. We got good people all over the daggone place. And I thought I saw Chris and Susie down here, waiting to pull up and be a part of what we're talking about. I think they rolled out. Hopefully they come back. But until then, we got my man Dylan, who's about to pull up. And then we got White Trash TV that's coming up as well. But I do want to say to you all, and I know some of you probably didn't come here to see a bunch of other people having conversations with me, but guess what? You're the agents of change. You are. The people that you vote for, they're just the face. They are just the face. But you all are the agents of change. So it will behoove me to speak directly to the people who are the change. So I appreciate you guys. Anybody else that want to pull up and have a conversation, say anything to the country, say anything to people who are watching us right now, feel free. Click that link. But do me a favor, if you're in here and you haven't clicked the like button yet, please do so. And also, if you're on Twitter, if you can share this on your Twitter, that would be amazing. And also, one last thing, I have to show this right here because it's important. Consider joining me on Locals. All right, consider joining me on Locals. If you haven't already, consider it. Okay. I would love to see y'all over there. The reason why is because over there is free speech. Over there is censorship free content and conversation. All right. All right. So about to pull up my man Dylan and see what's going on with Dylan Ruark. How you say your last name, brother? Okay. How you say your last name, Dylan? Ruark. How you doing today, bro?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I am doing well. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I just now saw something inside of my comment thread where someone said I was lying. Here it is. It said, Van, you're lying. You know what I mean? And those are the people that won't get on camera to tell me, Van, you're lying. I would like for you to come up there and come up here and say, Van, you're lying. Okay, anyway. So what's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Oh, man, just got off work.
You just now got off work. Okay, working hard, man, making that bread and butter.
As much as I can.
What state are you in?
Michigan, unfortunately.
Okay. Isn't Michigan a blue state? Is Michigan a blue state?
Yep.
you better, so. Hey man, you better get with it and vote for Joe Biden. What's on your mind, my brother? What's on your mind today?
For me, the topic I like to bring up is division in the country. Right?
Okay.
I'm 22 years old. I'm part of the Gen Z, so not many of my generation will speak up because they're, my opinion, brainwashed. Not trying to blow it out of the water, but when it comes to division in the country, I mean, whether you vote for Donald Trump or you vote for Joe Biden, we all are Americans at the end of the day. That is my stance. We should all bleed red, white, and blue, support our veterans, and support each other, no matter if we're liberal or conservative, Democrat, Republican, whatever. That's my honest opinion.
Dylan, first of all, young man, I want to say thank you, man, for just joining us old folks. I appreciate it because that means a lot to me. I actually have a 26-year-old daughter. I have a 24-year-old son, Van Jr. I have a 21-year-old son, Jojo, who has the LFR Jojo channel, and my youngest baby girl is 18. And to see a young person who's so level-headed and still have love for country, that means a lot. How do you manage to do that? Because a lot of the younger people are, it seems like, and I could be wrong, but it seems like a lot of the younger people are for self, extremely selfish. How do you still have such love for country? Is it your parents or what is it? Pastor, your church?
See, me, it was always, I grew up in a conservative household.
Okay.
And a lot of people are like, well, you're only that way because of your family. And I'm like, no, that's not how it is at all. That's just who I am. Nobody tells me who I believe, what I believe, things like that. I've been a Christian since birth, and I still believe in those verses and those lifestyles and things like that. Um, how I navigate through the young community with how things are right now, I don't try and shove things down people's throats, I should say. Like, I'm not gonna go up to somebody and start spouting off, who did you vote for? And like, do you support Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Like, that's too aggressive, that's too forward, that's not what we should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, we should be like, we all have this incredible power that most people don't realize. It's called the ability to vote.
Yeah. 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 That's true.
And everybody, you can protest, you can riot. There's so many things that, we have the freedom to protest. Rioting is not the answer, in my opinion. All it does is create chaos. It creates destruction. So I suggest for the younger people, whether side of the playing field you vote for, keep it peaceful.
That's right.
And most of my friend group is kind of the same as me. I do have one thing though. Most
Mm-hmm.
people find this shocking is my girlfriend is actually the opposite of me. And a lot of people have asked, like, how do we manage that in a relationship? And I said, well, here's how we manage it. And this is how we should manage it with each other in reality. Forget about politics. Focus on humanity.
I love it.
We're all human. It doesn't matter if we're from, let's say, California or Texas, who are very different in political views. We are all, like I said earlier, Americans. We all want the same thing for each other: peace, wealth, prosperity, and health. That's at the end of the day, well, that's what we all want, and that's what I want for everybody else.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. What do you say to people who say you're racist? Black people who say you're racist, brown people who say you're racist, Asian people who say you're racist, simply because you're white.
In my mind, I would consider that. I don't know. I've never had that happen to me. I've always had good relationships with everybody of every race. I've never had an incident where I've ever had any racial issue with anybody. But in my opinion, I consider this. This is what I personally believe. I believe everybody can be racist. Everybody can be racist towards each other. Um, when it comes down to it, you got to look past the color and you got to look more towards the personality. You got to look towards the person inside that skin, because at the end of the day, I don't care if you're white as me or whatever, and skin is an organ. It's the biggest organ on the human body. Besides that, what's in your heart, what's in your head?
How in the hell we got a 22-year-old who make so much more sense than a lot of these older people out here? You got a gentleman who has not been on this planet for a quarter century yet, but you're speaking so much sense. If you think about it, because I only asked you that question because there's a great deal of people out here in the country, especially when you think about the Alabama Montgomery boat fight. Have you seen that?
I have not, but I've heard about it.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are celebrating the fact that a bunch of black people came and started beating up some white people. And I'm like, what? Yeah, we supposed to stand for our brother because they always doing this to us. They always attacking us. And it's I'm like, when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, you need a hug.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sad life. Like my man just now said, Dylan. Like Dylan just now said, in a roundabout way, look at anything, the worst characteristic of anybody. We can all have that trait if we wanted to. We all decide not to. We can all be killers. We can all be traffickers. We can all be drug dealers. We can all be racist. We can all be any of those things. As long as we decide not to do it for the betterment of our country, the betterment of our families, like, we can do that. But for some strange reason, people like to hold tight to those things that divide us. And as if, you know what? I think it's because is financially lucrative. It helps a certain political side, and that's one reason why I started to go over to the conservative side more, because I'm noticing that with the information I'm starting to receive and find myself, that there's one political side that find that really benefits off of ignorance. It really benefits off of us being divided. It really benefits off of racial tension, and we need to step away from that. And that's unfortunate, because people will still get out there with their bullhorns and act as if they're on the right side. You're not on the right side unless you're on God's side. If you're not on God's side, you're on the wrong side. I don't care if you're yelling about conservatism or liberalism. If you're not yelling God's law, you're on the wrong side.
Pretty much, and I agree with that myself. As if I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican. If you're not a Christian in my mind, or if you don't support this country and where it was fundamentally made on, which was Christian values. Yes, we do have the freedom of religion, but this country was based on Christian values. That is point blank. Period. So
What about 1619?
I knew you were gonna say it.
When you said this country was based off of Christian values, there are people that tell me all the time, they'd be like, then what about slavery? So I want to know, what about 1619?
I actually want to skip 1619, and I want to bring up something most people won't research themselves is, and I found this out, and I didn't even believe it at first, because I was like, well, that's not what I was taught. I actually found out, if we go back to the 1800s, if we go back to the Civil War, right? Here's what I found. Oh.
Siri wants to be in the conversation.
Exactly. I looked up the Confederacy, and I love researching things because I like to know what I'm talking about instead of blasting nonsense like somebody who watches CNN. But me, I found out the Confederacy, if you look at modern day politics, it's the modern day Democrats. I could not believe that. My whole brain, because I found that out years ago, and I was like, because at one point I kind of thought more left when I was in school, but that kind of happens when you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out, I was like, wait a minute, this don't add up. Because most people don't realize Abraham Lincoln was actually part of the Union Party, which is now the modern day Republicans. Most people don't know that either. So if we want to get down to it, I mean, we all know slavery was bad. I'm glad it's over. We know it. The 12th, no, not the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment. The 13th Amendment was the abolition of slavery. We all know that. The 14th Amendment was citizenship.
Uh-huh.
And the 15th was the ability to vote. So, I mean, yeah, we had to fight over the years for civil rights and all that things, but we all got to come down to this conclusion. We've all made mistakes within the country. We can't backtrack to that. We learn from it. We teach it. We don't forget, but we kind of, in a sense, forgive. Because modern day people, I'm broke enough. I can't afford no slave. I gotta do some stuff. But it's like nobody alive is a slave, and that's great. We love that, especially in the United States. That's how it should be. It should stay that way, and I personally believe that.
Hey, I'm with you 100%, bro. And I will say this: you know more about history than I do. You know more about American history than I do. I've never been very studious. That's a lie. When I was younger, when I was like between the age of after 7th grade, it was all about the girls. It was all about fun. It was all about that for me. But before then, man, I got nothing but A's and B's. That's it. I mean, but it was still about the girls and fun.
See, for me growing up, like, in 2016, I did support Donald Trump, and I still do to this day. And I honestly think his indictments are, in my mind, and this is my opinion, so I hope everybody doesn't get weird about it. My
It
opinion.
don't matter. Let them get weird about it. I don't care. Offend them.
His indictments, in my mind, I think are a distraction.
It is
Towards actual federal corruption. I think the DOJ needs a reform. I honestly think Congress needs a term limit. We got people in there who are older than my grandmother.
Grandmas need jobs too.
And it's just like you got people who are in there who don't know what modern, like, I don't even want to say modern day society, because modern day society is a total crap show in my opinion. But we need to, if we want change on both sides of the playing field, we have to come to an agreement. We both have to come to each other, have a conversation, get each other's opinions out of the way, and then say, okay, where do we go from here? How do we please one another's belief system without eradicating the other? That's my personal opinion.
22 years old, guys. He's 22. Wow. Question before you go, I really want to hear this. Since you're a young person, you're much younger than a lot of other people who are here. What's your thoughts quickly on Vivek Ramaswamy?
I don't think I know who that is, to be honest with you.
Okay, he's a 36-year-old billionaire. Well, potential billionaire, because he's about to land a big pharma, deal that could bring him and his team $7 billion. And he's running for president, and he's one of the front runners. He's passed Ron DeSanctimonious. He's passed him. The Sanctimonious. I still think that's a dumb nickname. Trump, please. If you listen to this, Trump, if anybody send this to Trump and he hear this, bro, I want to know where that nickname came from. The Sanctimonious.
I mean, the best nickname is Crooked Joe. I'm just gonna say it. But.
Yeah, Crooked Joe, Sleepy Joe, or I call him Hospice Joe, because the brother is always on his. Oh, am I supposed to sit over here? No, I'm supposed to leave. I'm supposed to go falling asleep and just pooping on himself. You know what? I'm not going to talk about him, because old is the goal. And I'm not going to talk about senior citizens, because I might not get my opportunity to become one. And that's just mean. But I will say, I don't think that he's fit to be the president. And I don't regret a whole lot of things that I do, but I do regret voting for that brother. For real.
It is all part of the learning process. I personally I'm not going to tear someone down because they voted different than me. You have your right to do that. And if you think otherwise, that is on you. I personally think everybody, like I said, has the freedom to vote for who they want. That is the greatest American power we have, is to vote. If you want change in this country, then you need to go vote. Register to vote, go to the polls, and solve the country's problems at whatever political view you think. If you think that Joe Biden is the best in 2024, then you go do your American duty. If you think Donald J. Trump is the best in 2024, you go vote for him and do your civic duty. That is what we're called to do as Americans. The United States Constitution says we the people make the decisions. We the people make the change, not the federal government.
I like this young man.
And I can read cursive. Most people can't read cursive.
Oh man, can you write in cursive?
I can.
Oh man, I thought that stopped.
Not well, but I can do it.
Well, bless you, my brother. Thank you so much for pulling up. I really appreciate you, and I will make sure a lot of people see your face and hear your opinion, because you, like someone mentioned inside of the comments, you do your research. You know what I mean? Like Heavy Duty Mayo just now said, it's up on the screen right now. He did, hold on, what did it say? He did way too much factual research. How dare you, sir?
I'm gonna assume that's a joke.
Nah, I think that's absolutely phenomenal, man. Bless you, bless your family for bringing you up and raising you right. I really appreciate you, and if more people are like you, we're gonna be all right.
I hope so.
In my opinion, man. Hopefully this is not the last time that you pull up on us. Hopefully I see you on our next lives, and you have an amazing day. All right.
All right, I got a phone call.
All right, so before I go to Chris and Susie, I'm gonna pull up White Trash TV. Please, White Trash TV, I don't see you. Are you here? Are you here, White Trash TV? Are you here? There go my man right there. Yeah. Beard Gang. That's my guy right there. Yes, sir. Hold on. I'm about to pull you up. Okay, there you go. Let me turn this up right here.
Boom. I got my old cowboy lid on. You know, I got a little country in me. Yeah, hey. I was I'll give you a little quick background so people know who you're talking to. I come from the Delta. I was born in West Memphis, Arkansas. So, you know, I'm a hick from the cotton patch. I mean, real. So I know everything about the cotton patch. I pick cotton. I chop soybean. My wife's talking crap to me over here. But anyway.
I mean, you said you picked.
Anyway, I was going to say something about.
Did you say you picked cotton?
Yes, sir. Why? I picked cotton when I was 7 years old.
Why?
Because I was 7 years old, and it was legal. It was legal. It was legal to have child labor back in the 50s. So they give me a 50-pound cotton sack versus a 100-pound cotton sack. And I got out in the field and I used to pick cotton with black people because black people were the dominant, you know, ones that picked cotton, and they made really good money, by the way. So I thought I'd go out there and get me some of that money. And they used to be this black guy. He was about 6'5", and I used to follow him and watch everything he did, and I mimicked it. And how he picked the cotton, how he stuck his fingers in the bowl, and everything. And I done pretty good. I could only pick 35 pounds a day, and he could pick 200 pounds a day.
I see. Here's the thing, man. As a black brother, when I hear about
anyways, I'm just saying.
No. I'm just saying. Listen. Hold on 1 second. It's when you talk to me about picking cotton, I can just sit here in awe listening to you break it down, because I don't understand why anyone will go out of their way to pick cotton with what picking cotton means or to a certain group of people back in 1619.
Well, in the 50s, I was 7 years old when I picked cotton, and I made 35 cents a day.
Oh wow.
But anyways, I was going to speak I was going to talk about how the civil rights movement destroyed the race relations. Now, and what I have to say.
No, I was about to say I've heard that argument before by Jesse Lee Peterson. I would love to hear you break it down. You're about to tell me why the civil rights movement destroyed our progress in America.
Well, because back in that period of time, in the late 60s, people were just people, like Jesse said. We were all just people, and every man for himself. If you wanted something, you had to go out and you had to hustle and you had to work for it, you know, legally. So when the civil rights movement come along, it worked. Those Yankee leaders from up north come down into the cotton patch, and they got everybody worked up, thinking that the government and the white people owed them something, and if they pushed us around enough, we'd give them free stuff, and you know that's what happened. But anyways, there was three elements back in the old days. I'm going to go 60s, 70s, those 20 years. The first thing that started hurting us was the automation, of machinery in the cotton fields, which caused thousands of people to lose their jobs. That was bad. The race relationship, where the preachers from up north come down south and told everybody it was my fault. That was the other thing. And then, like it couldn't get worse, here comes, after welfare, here comes credit cards. They said, here, we'll give you this little card and you can go borrow money that you don't have. And we don't care. And I went, wow, I want one of those, you know. But anyways, then here come the big one, the drugs, methamphetamine. When they introduced methamphetamine into the United States of America, that was funneled through the colleges of America, that's where it all came from. It didn't come from the street, it came from the college. It was really high grade chemistry, the recipe was. And when I seen that, I knew it was over. Racism, free money, methamphetamine. I knew that our country was going to go straight to hell, and I was right. And I'm right to this second that those are the three elements that's brought us down. It's not the government necessarily. Now, the government, they're not angels, but it's slow moving. The government, because of the Constitution of the United States, is slow moving. That's why we're not communist today, and like Chinese, because we got a constitution that guarantees that we are all free.
All right, so let me question. Let me challenge you on something. Hold on one second. I want to make you bigger. And okay, hold on one second.
I'm listening. I got my ear to the phone.
Okay, I want to challenge you on something. Civil rights movement. The civil rights movement was supposed to be here and supposed to have started to help the disenfranchised be able to get some type of footing in the country and equal things out, because you had a group of individuals who were being forgotten about and who were being demeaned at every turn. And apparently you had a group of individuals who represented them, and they were all for the people. So you're saying that things that they asked for were all bad for the country.
The things that they asked for, the people already had. Now, Jesse Peterson will verify some of the stuff that I'm talking about. They already had. If the black people had listened to those morons and thought that they needed a leader instead of leading their own selves like they did, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in today for sure. And it's a sad thing. It happened, and none of us was happy. The white people and the black people didn't even think about each other in the 60s. We didn't even think about each other. We just got up every day, went on about our business. I didn't wake up thinking, oh my God, I wonder what those black folk are doing. They didn't wake up going, oh hell, I wonder what those Peckerwoods are doing. They didn't do that. Those crackers and Peckerwoods and but anyway, yeah, they just didn't do that. I'm sorry, they didn't do that. And the Southerners, they were hardworking people, and they didn't need nobody to tell them what to do. They get out there, they'd walk out their back door. They didn't even have to own a car. They'd grab a hoe, jump in a cotton patch, and get busy and get paid. Okay. So after that, after they didn't have enough people to harvest the crops from Dixie, from the Delta, they had to automate, and that cost thousands of people their jobs. White, black, the Mexicans used to come from Mexico all the way up here, and they'd house them, feed them, and they worked and made a lot of money too. It was cash daily, in hand.
Okay, I have a question for you. Last question. Do you think the slave trade was still not as bad as the civil rights movement.
Well, I don't know anybody that ever owned a slave, Van. See, to start out, I don't know. I can't find nobody in the white community, north, south, east, or west, that ever was rich enough to own a slave. I mean, nobody. So that being said, the civil rights movement, it was see, I guess the point I'm trying to make on that, if they would have left people alone and not brainwash them into an idealism that they could force somebody to give them free money, they would have made it on their own, and they wouldn't have cared nothing about white people.
Okay.
That's my point. Culture, yeah, black people, they had a culture. I'm a musician, and their blues was, the black people had way more funner than white people. Let me say that. They had better clubs, better music, had a better time. They danced better. They smelled better. I mean, come on, man. Well, what's wrong? What's wrong with them people out there hating on this so stinky white boy? I mean, come on. Nobody. I don't know nobody that own no damn slave. What the fuck is a slave? I mean, what the screw is a slave? But anyways, I don't know, man. And where I come from,
man. Hold on. Let me tell you something. You say you're a musician, man, but I promise you, you are a comedian.
Well, I'm a lover of life. I'm not real heavy in the things that will rob me of my joy, because I have a dang good time. I've always had a good time, and I've been all over the country. And I mean, I'm not a rich guy, but I'm not a dumb guy. I got a Texas master's license in Texas in mechanical engineering.
Wow.
To this second. Wow. I got a diploma to prove it. And I'm also an automobile mechanic and a pretty good musician too.
Oh my God.
And I've made money doing all of it. So, I'm not coming from I may be white trash and trailer trash, but, I've done a few things.
But here's the thing. You're the only person, and I told you this yesterday when you and I talked, you're the only person that's giving yourself the white trash, trailer trash moniker, or that title. That's, what I mean? Wear it well, brother. Wear it proudly. To me, you are one cool mofo, man. You are somebody that I could definitely see myself, sitting down having a conversation with, because you're hilarious and you're truthful too. I love the fact that you give your truth, which is amazing.
Well, I guess my little bitty point, it ain't much, but I thought one time in my life that everybody was going to come together and hold hands and hug it out and live together and quit being fools toward each other. But I guess time and life has proven me kind of wrong. But, as far as hope that it's ever going to work out, I can't see it. I think it's going to get worse. And these politics out here are really rude. Where the Social Security people, Social Security was meant to be a net for poor people, so that when the end of time comes, they at least get a check and still be able to live. And Social Security, we hadn't had a raise in over 40 years, to my understanding, and the inflation has doubled and tripled. And what we're making now, say for instance, if somebody retires, early retirement at 62 years old, you have to make at least $3,000 a month to be able to live like a human being, but they only pay $1,000 a month.
Babe, I'm live.
So these politicians, what my problem is with them, and that's Biden, Trump, and all these people, they had their chance. They had their chance to do the American people. They had their chance to do them right. But instead of doing them right, they got down there, instead of taking care of the people, they got down there and started building walls and doing this and doing that, giving money to the Ukraine and all this kind of stuff. But they didn't take care of the people. So that's my that's where they went wrong with me. What's the sense? If they're just going to leave you to starve to death, and we got thousands and thousands and almost millions of homeless people out there right now, sitting up there, laying in their pee and poo, doing drugs, out the front door of a $1 trillion skyscraper. By the way, I used to build those things, skyscrapers. I used to design them.
Bro, you've done it all, man. Listen, I'm gonna have you come back on another show, bro, because you have a lot to say, and I got a couple other guys that want to get up here.
Yes, sir.
Speak. But please, I told you yesterday, don't serve me, goddammit. You and I are friends, we're brothers, and I can't wait to talk to you again, man.
Well, I do that to everybody, and I've always done it since the day I was born. My daddy made me do it. He said, you be respectful to every human being on this earth. My father was a sharecropping farmer. That's where I come from. I come from sharecropper trash, cotton patch.
Well, let me ask you one thing before you go. Are you racist?
Go ahead. Are you racist? Well, I've never understood the word. Be honest with you, I don't know what that's a school term to me. Okay. That's for the educated people to figure out if they're racist or not.
I hear you, brother.
In some cases, not all. In some cases, when people come up around you and they want to tell you, "Oh, I had a Mexican buddy and a black buddy, and I ate lots of Chinese food and all this kind of stuff." Watch out for those type of people, because those folk be lying like a dog. Some of the worst racists, by the word, I've ever seen in my life were people that declared they was not racist.
Well, hey, listen.
So anyway,
I agree with you, brother, and I appreciate how you put it down. You are a dope individual, man, and may God continue to bless you and your family, brother.
Oh, I'm into that. I'm into that religious stuff, buddy. I want to tell you that right now. Well, I wouldn't have this much joy if I wasn't so happy. And a happy anniversary to you. And me and my wife's been married 26 years.
Whoa, y'all got us by a year. Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations, brother. Yeah, so I know how to keep a woman. I just sang to her. Hey. I sang real sweet to her, and she just melts.
Hey, that's how I go. You just sang to her. Hey, man, I'm about to move on to the next guy. I love you, man. You take it easy, okay?
Peace and love to you, chat, too, over there. I always love to chat, too. See you later, chat.
Right,
have a good day.
Much love to him, man. We coming up to you, Rob. Give me 1 second. I got my man Chris pulling up for a moment. Chris, where you at? Chris, where you at? Now, Chris is just as funny, probably even more funny than the gentleman that just now left. But he's one of them guys that keep it real, keep it 100, keep it a buck. And he's not going to let anybody get away with anything. What's going on, Chris? Unmute your mic, Chris. Unmute your mic, Chris.
I did. It's unmuted. Oh, okay. Wait. No, wait.
Just a minute. It's on the other side. It's on the other side.
Chris, I got it.
The green one.
There you go.
You working now?
You're extremely low.
Oh, I gotta turn that off. Is it working now?
Barely. I can hear you, but
Oh.
it's very
Give me a minute.
low.
Give me a minute. Try it now.
You hear me now? No?
What
Oh,
the
come on,
devil?
man.
Listen, y'all go ahead and
Can you hear me?
What the
I can
hell?
hear you, but it's very low, Susie.
Can't
That's
hear you.
Susie, ladies and gentlemen. That's his lovely wife.
Unmute the stage. I did turn up the volume.
Did you?
I thought I did.
Say something.
Okay, say something now, Van.
Something now.
There, okay, gotcha. iPad.
Don't mind it, man. I'm stoned and she's old.
Well, I'm gonna let you know right now. I still barely hear you. You're both are very low.
Huh.
And then let me change the settings. That's the camera. I don't want settings for camera. I want settings for audio. Is that better?
Yes, that's a lot better.
Okay, gotcha.
Get all
Yes.
that shit off there.
Settings.
All right.
What a
So,
pain. Up here.
hey, so we got the black cat looking at inside of the camera.
Yeah, that's Matt.
Hey, what's up, Matt? So what's up,
That's
Chris?
a girl,
Okay.
but her name is Matt.
Okay.
Long story.
His name is Matt, but it's a girl. Gotcha.
This is Ed.
And Ed is a girl too.
No, he's a boy.
We're not seeing it,
But
so
when he was little, and he still really can be today. You know, so I was trying to. You can't really name an animal. You have to give the animal time to let it tell you its name.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. So
So
what do I owe this?
I was
What do
going to
I,
call him Dickhead, but I didn't really think that was proper to be yelling at him all the time, so I just called him Ed.
yeah. So talk about what you
oh
want.
Lord.
Anyway,
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
All
Well as
right.
well as can be expected.
That's good. Now, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, and it says it's pretty much talking about how the J6 committee are under investigation, and they are really doing their thing to try to put Trump in a bind. He's had 3 indictments so far, I believe, and he has a whole bunch of trumped up charges inside those indictments. But it looks like,
Trumped up.
Right.
yeah, no pun intended.
Trumped up. Think about that for a few minutes.
They're raising the man.
Hey, well,
It's almost like they're okay. I want to say something about the Democrats. All right,
go
and
ahead.
I've seen this for a very, very, very long time. Everything that they accuse somebody else of doing is, in fact, what they are doing themselves. Period. Did you
Okay,
see that shit with Nancy Pelosi recently talking about this new charge and shit?
no, what is she saying exactly?
Talking about how they picked the committee and the committee blah blah blah. Well, they picked Liz Cheney. Come on, really?
What's the matter with Liz Cheney being in the committee?
Because she's part of the fucking military industrial complex. So is her
Ew.
dad, who was the vice president for Bush when we went to war in Iraq. We never should have went there. Nonetheless, everything that they say that somebody else is doing is in fact what they are doing themselves. And the only reason that there's a race thing in this country is because it makes people money.
It makes money.
Period.
How does it make people money?
Well, look at Al Sharpton. I mean, come on, that guy's so full of shit, and I'm gonna say it, his eyes are brown. Sorry for the. I don't trust these people, man. I don't trust the government at all. Never have. They lost me when they forced me to sign up for the draft. I got 7 letters telling me that I needed to sign up. And my dad finally took me down there by the nape of the neck and made me do it.
Wow. Do you think Trump will ever be released from these charges, or do you think he'll be free to run?
In Washington D.C., and when he doesn't stand a chance in hell.
So if he doesn't stand a chance in hell, then do you pretty much presume that our next president will be Vivek Ramaswamy?
No, I think it'll be Donald Trump.
If he doesn't have a chance of running,
They're not going to lock
They
him up.
can't keep him from running. He could run from prison and win.
Yeah. And if they lock him up, people could just write his name in, and he's still going to fucking win. Sorry. It comes
I
out. I can't help myself.
so what's the difference between today and 2020? Like I mean 2024 and 2020, where he wasn't arrested then. Yes, some things were moved around and things were falsified, and he actually communicated this to Pence, like, hold up, let's make sure we look at everything, but this is something that's coming back to haunt him, which is showed in the third indictment. You think that it'll positively affect him at the end?
No, because I think Mike Pence is a lying piece of crap. I watched him on a video where somebody asked him a question about that, and he ummed his ways through that whole thing. And in the history of me watching that man talk publicly, I've never seen him try to search for the right words before. They were just there. So he's lying. Whatever he said about Trump isn't true. I mean,
Wow.
you've been around the kind of people I've been around in my lifetime. You start to learn to know when somebody's lying.
The tell signs. You
It's
start to
all
see
in
the
the eyes.
tells.
It's all in the eyes. You don't have to have facial expression. It's all in the eyes. You can see the discontent in their eyes. And I've had people point this out to me. And then I'm looking at this person going, yeah, that dumbass is about to do something stupid. And sure enough,
I understand 100%. So
as far as the
with
government goes, I think it's a sham. Everything they're doing to Trump is just because he totally blew their heads off when he said he was going to run for president as a Republican. They lost their minds. They all did. Hillary thought she had that shit. Hillary thought she had all that just locked up. Everybody was just going to vote for her. He was just a dumbass, you know.
but
And
since then,
look how fast they turned on him. Immediately.
yeah. Now this was back in 2016. 2015.
Yep.
Now we're at 2024.
And
There's a
everything.
lot of allegiances that have joined, regardless of what's happening in the country. A lot of allegiances have happened on the left, and they will do whatever in their power to prevent him from running again, or prevent, or to make sure that the liberals win. You
You know
don't
why
believe
they
that?
hate him? Say again.
I said that you don't believe that. You don't believe that they'll do whatever's
Oh yeah,
in their
yeah.
power.
They're petty. They're petty, man. Petty.
I have something.
That's the kind of people we deal with today. Petty people. They'll do anything. They don't care. If it gets somebody to look at them, look at me, me, me. I never was that guy. I never wanted to be me, 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 have all the attention on me. I didn't like that.
I understand 100%, but now you are the guy with all the attention on you. So I want you to give the people. I want you to
Okay,
give.
here's something I'll say.
Okay.
I am sick and tired of all these people touting racism, slavery. Let's talk about the slavery that's happening right now.
We got to talk about 1619.
I don't know anything about it. Don't care to know anything about it. It means nothing to me because I was not raised that way, Van.
Okay.
My mom and dad would have knocked us into the middle of next week if they caught us doing some crazy crap like that. I know it for a fact because there was a guy I knew that when I first moved there, me and him had an issue. I don't know why. I never done anything to him. Apparently, he just didn't like me.
Was he black?
Yes. And he was
Okay.
huge, and I wasn't that big then. I didn't want to get in a fight with him. But I ended up having to because I'm not going to just sit there and let somebody, do shit to me, I'm going to fight back.
Oh, I understand. But why? I mean, so what came about your relationship?
He was in a car going by one day. I was walking through town, and he yelled out, "Hey, honky!" And I went, "Hey, boy," just like that, right? And then we giggled, and everything was cool. Well, one day, this has been going on for a couple of years now, right? I mean, we had gotten to the point where if we came across each other in a store, somehow I was in a very small town. Right around maybe 3,000 people, and I think most of those didn't even live in town.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'd walk up to each other, and that's how we introduced, that's how we greeted each other, shake hands, It was just a thing. Didn't mean nothing. It was a personal joke, But one day, I had 2 blocks from the house. I went to the grocery store. My mom wanted something. I don't even remember what it was. I went down there, and I came out of the store. I was walking back, and he went back. He went by in a car. I think it was his aunt that was driving, and they went by really slow, and he yelled out, "Hey, honky!"
Whoa!
Yeah, see, that was the look on my face. What just came out of my mouth, right?
Whoa!
And he looked at me. He seen the shame on my. He's seen the shame on my face, man. And he just started laughing, and his aunt was laughing, and I was laughing, and I walked in the door down at the house, and my mom, man, she didn't even say anything. She just smacked me.
Hold on,
I'm like, what was that for?
Time out. You gotta warn me before something, like, we are live, bro.
Yeah, I know, but it was a joke. I'm just telling you, man, that I don't get the race thing. I don't understand it. It's totally stupid. It's nothing but a construct. Slavery was never about the color of somebody's skin, brother. Never.
Well,
it was about their vulnerability, period. And there are many slaves in this country right now. People just don't look at it like that. But look what happened in New York last week.
Hold on one second.
Guy sent out a message on his whatever, and a bunch of idiots show up thinking they're going to get free crap, and when they didn't, they just tear shit up. To me, that is asinine behavior. And how is that not slavery? They just react. They just do whatever they're told. They have no control of themselves.
Well, people operate by emotions most times.
I know that. I get that.
Yeah, most of us operate by emotions. Most of us cannot. Well, we can control it, but it just feels good to just free ourselves of logic for a moment and just be emotional, just be in the moment. And we allow ourselves to do that often. Like when you was telling your story, and that caught me, like, boom, oh, whoa. Did that just happen?
Move. Come on.
And I didn't know that was going to be a part of your story that you was telling.
I was just trying. Okay, I understand to you that's not funny, but when I watch like the conservative twins, Hodge brothers, I laugh my ass off because it's funny, because I've heard people doing that to each other my whole life.
Keith and Kevin are absolutely hilarious.
Oh, they're awesome. Keith is the one that's usually calm. He's on the left, on the right. Kevin, the other one. Yeah, he's a little wild there sometimes, man. But he makes good points. But what's going on with the government right now and all this Trump crap? I don't know how people can even think that Trump had anything to do with January 6th. That was 100% Muriel Bowser, the FBI, and Nancy Pelosi.
But you knew.
And me and Sue were watching it live, right? When all the people went down there.
Uh-huh.
And I instantly seen the Antifa people. You know how you pick them out? You can't see what color their skin is.
Because most of them are white.
Most of them are white little rich kids that just like to go out and start shit because somebody pays them a bunch of money for it. Sorry.
Dressed up in all black, wearing masks because they don't want to be identified by their friends, their family, or their employees at their job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're cowards. 100% cowards.
And they sprinkle
just like anything else, Vanny, you know what I'm talking about. You catch somebody that's like part of a group of people or something, you don't really want to screw with them right then. But if you catch them out there by themselves at some point, they're typically cowards.
Most times. Here's the thing. I'm
Well, okay, one thing. I'd like to say to white trash,
hold on one second.
I
Hold on
love
one
you,
second,
brother.
Chris. Hold on one second, Chris. Hold on one second, Chris. This comment right here, not just the mom. Yes, you are right. I did not expect it. And sometimes I do realize that I get emotional too. And I did not expect it. Like even when telling the story, I didn't expect it. So, but I know Chris is an amazing guy. Susie is an amazing woman. They are an amazing team. And I know their hearts are phenomenal. So it was just the fact that it came out.
It wasn't
Okay.
a slip of the tongue, man. It was part of the story.
It was part of the story. It was not a slip of the tongue,
But see,
ladies and
here's the
gentlemen.
thing, man.
And you too, please don't do anything.
By the time I walked another block and a half down to my mom, now remember, this is in like
70s.
late 70s, 78, 79 maybe. And somebody had already got to a phone and called my mom and told him what I did. And that's why she smacked me upside the head when I walked inside in the house. She didn't even question it. But then, when I explained to her who it was and what it was, she apologized for slapping me because she knew him too.
Right.
That was
Uh,
just what we did. And and
I
as
understand.
far as
I
something
understand.
that white trash said, playing blues with black people is unlike anything you could ever do. That is the most real feeling playing music, man, in that style and that that vibe and everything going on in the whole thing. And yes, I have been the only white guy in a bar because I was there just to play drums.
Going
Hey,
to a black revival.
Yeah,
Oh my Lord, the spirit there.
I've
oh
been to black
yeah.
churches. I have. Freaked me out the first time I ever went. All that screaming and hollering. I was like, what the hell is going on in here, man?
So do you think racism
It's a construct.
is fake?
It is.
Yes.
And race was never a thing until after the South lost the war. Because they needed something to keep everybody in line. They needed the black people to believe that all white people are evil. And who was preaching that shit to them? Sorry. Who was preaching that to them? White people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
Mostly Democrats.
Mostly Democrats. Well, one thing I want you to do me a favor. You or Chris can do that. I mean, you or Susie can do it. You or Sue. I like how you call her Sue.
She
Um,
sued me.
if y'all have something, anything that you would like to get across to these people of God who are in this country, or these godless individuals who may hear what we're talking about, because I think it's extremely necessary for us ordinary folk to just have conversations.
Yeah.
What would you like to get across to them?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The point that I would like to make is that everything that we are seeing them do to Trump, all of these charges, all of these indictments, everything is opening doors for Trump to be able to do exactly what he wanted to do before January 6th. He saw the cheating. He knew what was happening. He has all of the evidence. There are a lot of people that have been working on this extensively since then. And they want to now charge him with saying that he falsely said the election was stolen.
They're trying to
That opens a door for him and they've given him subpoena privileges.
Yeah.
Now he can subpoena Hillary Clinton. Did you or did you not say in 2016 that I had stolen the election from you? Which, in fact, he did not. All he simply did was break the algorithm of the machines that they had set up. He broke the algorithm starting in Florida. And once that one broke down, they all broke down. And the thing is that now he can subpoena these people. You said this, and you said this, and you did this, and this, and this. What's the difference between what you did and what I did? None. She refused to concede the election, as did he.
She still never has. She's
Right.
never. She's always said that it was
she's
stolen from
never
her.
either. Now, the difference between 16 and 20 was that in 20, we had the virus come out.
Yeah, like that wasn't by
Kind
design.
of a little
Convenient.
convenient.
Please don't say too much about that.
I didn't. We had that. That allowed for all these mail-in ballots, which opened the door for them to do all kinds of strange things. And then, in 2020, he knew that other things that they were, and he told us all before
You don't have
then,
to
they're
scream,
going
though,
to
right
do
there.
the mail-in ballots are going to lead to cheating. We need proper signature verification. We need photo IDs, which again, I'll say keeps Chris from being able to vote, but that's okay too. But they have now opened the door for him to present all the evidence that he ever needed to be able to say, to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he won that election. So let them bring it on. And that's what he's saying. I believe that he, being, as I believe he is a chosen servant of God to get that in order. God's got this.
God's got it.
God's got this.
I agree.
Amen.
And all I have to do is sit back and pray for those that get caught in the middle. And I cannot tell you, living in DC, I pray for you every single day.
Oh, thank you.
That when God tells you, Van, it's time to take your family and go,
Do it.
you'll listen and you won't look back.
Go where though? Where we
Just
coming?
anywhere,
Kentucky?
anywhere that's not there, brother.
Wherever. He will tell you. You will be prompted. And he will tell you, go now. Take nothing with you. Go now.
If God say Mississippi, I don't know if I'm gonna go because my wife is not very fond of the South too much. North Carolina, Rocky Mount, maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
But the South is not
Wait,
what
wait.
people think it is, brother. It
Bring
really is.
shush. Bring your fishing pole and come to Okeechobee. You'll be welcome here, I promise.
We're coming to Okeechobee.
Yeah, you come to Okeechobee. You'll be taken care of here.
All right. Well,
But remember, he told the disciples, go out and preach the word and take nothing with you.
That's
No
right.
money, no food, no clothes, nothing. Everything will be provided. During Sodom and Gomorrah, he told don't ask me names. He told them, he said, leave now, don't look back. The wife looked back and look what happened to her. Go and don't look back.
Well, as y'all can see, I got some of the realest supporters in the world. This is
You do.
Chris and Susie. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. I got a couple more people before before the live ends. Susie,
love ya.
thank you so much for dropping the mic on us. Chris, thank you so much for scaring the hell out of me in front of all of our supporters.
Hey, let me say something to white trash, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
I love you, brother. I really do. You're my kind of folk.
He's just like us.
I
We
li-
love you, Van.
I
We're
lived in
gonna let you
Arkansas
go.
for a long time, so I get it.
I love y'all too, man. Y'all continue being yourselves. Don't ever change for anybody. Y'all are amazing.
Ain't
Thanks
happened
for
yet.
having us.
All right, peace. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we got a couple more people, just two more people. As a matter of fact, we got them both up here at the same time, man. That's what we do. That's what we do. We got my man Rob, and we got the beautiful Donna. You know Donna? The name Donna is one of my favorite people in the world. That's my mother-in-law name, and she is
Really?
Yeah, she's so amazing. I love me some her. I call her Miss Peaches. Ever since I was 15 years old, I called her Miss Peaches, and I still call her Miss Peaches. What's going on, Rob?
I'm very honored.
Oh, not too much. Just watching, thinking you need a backstage sound manager. Get some people sorted out on the microphones.
I you know what? All of that will come. You know, this God just said, open up the platform for the people, and that's what I'm doing. Everything else will come. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
So
this
Amen.
this
I want to
really is
say,
oh, go ahead.
I just want to be real quick. The gentleman that you had on before that has cancer,
uh-huh.
I hope that I hope he's still on and he can hear, maybe you play it back later or something.
Chris McClure.
Chris McClure.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump signed legislation for a program called Right to Try. And what that did, or what it still does, is it helps people that are terminally ill who can't get help or can't find, I don't know, answers to what they're dealing with, or the treatment that they're using isn't working for them. You can go to your doctor and tell your doctor, I want to do the Right to Try. And so many people were saved because of that program that I just wanted him to know about it. And there are different programs in the Right to Try, of course, that his doctor can set him up with if they work together and think that will help. But that was one of the biggest, greatest programs that President Trump put together, because there were so many people that were just dying along the side of the road and nobody cared about. And he said, wait a minute, we can find a way to do this. So that was one of his biggest things, I think.
Thank you. Hey, Chris, hopefully hopefully you heard what she said, or if not, somebody send this to Chris. I hope Chris is still here, listening. And if he's not, then hopefully he plays this back tomorrow to receive the information that you gave, because that was extremely valuable. I really appreciate that. And Trump started Right to Try?
Yeah, that was his legislation.
Wow.
In fact, I may have sent you. I'm the one that's always writing you like paragraphs in your comment section. Dan must open his comment section and he's like, oh God, here he is again. But I think I sent you a link. I think I sent you a link of a girl that came up and talked about it and how it saved her life. I think she's called him a good Samaritan.
That's
so yeah, this was in one of his speeches. She came up and surprised him and talked about that. So,
wow, you're right. I did see he did a video. Yes, he did a video of a young lady came up there. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right to Try. Oh, wow. Right. And people claim that Trump is the worst guy to ever become president. He's a racist. He's homophobic. He's transphobic. He's mean. He's evil and all this other stuff. And he just seemed like a regular guy that just want the country to do better. That's it.
I voted for Democrats all my life, except for Ronald Reagan. And then when Trump and Hillary came around, all I knew about Trump, as many people, was like, you're fired, The Apprentice and things like that. I didn't really know much about him as far as anything other than he was a businessman. But I knew enough about Hillary to know this is not a person I want to be.
Hillary, a mean little somebody.
Oh, Hillary's
she's so
evil.
Mean.
I think she's a Satan worshiper. But anyway, I didn't vote because I didn't know enough, and I was too stupid to go look and find out at the time. Because I think I'm going to say this and I'll shut up so the other gentleman can talk. But I think we've been like asleep and Trump woke us all up. We've been voting, I think, at least in my generation, we've been voting personality politics.
Yeah.
If somebody goes out and looks right and says all the right things, we just vote for them.
Yeah.
See, everybody was like, oh, I don't like the way Trump talks. He's too rough around the edges. He's not political. Well, hello,
Donna. I always hated
like
that.
The rest of them.
Let me tell you something, Miss Donna. I always hated hearing that he don't look presidential. He don't sound presidential. Okay, you want him to walk out and hug and kiss a few babies and talk while pointing his thumb at the camera. I mean, what type of dumbness is that? Does he represent does he represent somebody who's in line with God's law or what we want to do as a, our Constitution and whatnot? If that's the case, then he is presidential, going out and sounding presidential and looking president. Come on now, that's ridiculous. I would much rather have somebody who speak to me real, who speak to me plainly, who ain't, you don't have to use 50 big words in order to get across to me, because most people aren't going to understand those big words anyway.
I think that's what his draw is. He may be a billionaire, but he doesn't treat everybody the same. He treats us all as Americans.
Yeah.
And he wants us to be proud of our country. And we were the forgotten. We were the forgotten people.
Yeah.
And he came along and woke us all up and said, hey, who is that man behind the curtain? Pull back that curtain. Get out. Get the cockroaches out.
Well, hey, but that's what it took. And I think when he became president, it was the right time for it, because I don't think we would have been ready at an earlier time. And I think we're ready for it again. But
I do too.
They're doing everything in their power to make sure it does not happen.
Well, I've been watching your journey I started watching you when you were doing music video reactions.
Yeah, when I was
I watch JoJo all the time now too. But he's hysterical.
That's my baby boy.
I just love the heck out of him. That boy is something else.
Thank you.
But I've been watching you for a long time, and I've watched you go from the Joe Biden end of things all the way around now, and it's so delicious. I love to watch people grow the way you've grown, because I've been there too. I was there too. So anyway, I'll shut up now. I want to stay on though, because I want to hear what this gentleman has to say.
Sounds good to me. And Donna, you're so dope. Where are you from, Donna?
Oh, I was born in Arkansas. Lived on a Mississippi plantation, and it was no terror. I can promise you that. But I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana now.
Okay. All right. Much love to you. I love that twang in your voice. That's why I asked. Yeah. Big Rob, what's going on, brother?
Oh, same sugar honey iced tea, different day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, if y'all don't know, Rob, he's the gentleman that everyone kept saying that he should have his own channel, because how he presents himself, his intelligence, his sound is more professional than mine. It's my show.
Oh, I don't know about that. I honestly, I've left your videos up before while I was, doing other stuff on the internet and stuff, and I just like listen to this guy talk. I mean,
so much love, bro.
Yeah, it's, and there's not to change any subjects, because the programs she was talking about are great. I have several friends that are in the medical community. One ex-girlfriend that's an oncologist, and she says, that Right to Try thing really has saved some lives, because people that weren't responding to one treatment,
exactly,
can try a different one, and they do respond. And I kind of get to see that a lot, because I'm part of a program we started here in my local area, where if somebody's getting ready to pass, right, and they don't have any family left, either not alive or whatever it is, we go there and we just sit with them for hours and let them talk about the glory days of, the worst possible thing to do is like go with nobody around you, right? So
right.
I see this, and I've seen this Right to Try actually work on multiple occasions, just because the insurance they had said, no, we don't cover that. Exactly. And they're like, so what? This thing might work, and yeah, so the programs are great, and a lot of people don't know they exist. So like you didn't even know that Trump did this or whatever, put this thing in thing.
I didn't.
That's the problem. Our lives are so busy right now that you cannot know everything.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's where people and the media and even your friends will take advantage of that by going, well, he doesn't know about this. Let me tell him my version, so he'll be on my side, and it's such a division between everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
cannot stress enough to people, like I said yesterday, don't react to things. Now, you know, Chris popping the word in there and you reacted. That's gold. That's gold. I saw you.
Much
And
love to Chris.
I saw you laughing
I
at
saw
White.
his apple, as Adam Apple went up and down.
Yeah. No, and then I saw you starting to lose it with white trash a little bit. I even snuck in a comment in the microphone to you to hold it together, you know. But no, it's most things anyway. Don't react, just respond, because if you don't do your research, if you don't figure it out, I'm a little hardcore about things. Military mindset, I guess. You throw a rock at me, I'm going to throw a grenade, right? That's how I tend to think, which is why I need someone to keep me in check all the time. But at the same time, that mentality with people that don't know what they're doing. So you get, how do I put this? Okay, so a lot of stuff on what we call the left, I guess, is a great idea, and they market it poorly, and they don't even understand it themselves, and they riot for the wrong things or whatever it is. The big one that I laugh but shouldn't at is defund the police, right? So people started that with an actually good idea, and as ex-law enforcement, I can tell you, there is not enough funding in the police academies and continued training. There's not enough in there about de-escalation, mental health. You know, it's literally primarily a tactical response if needed, and that's, they don't have the money to train it. So
right.
The original concept was, let's defund the tactical training and start training our police officers to have more psychology and de-escalation tactics and everything else. But people heard it and they went, yeah, I get pulled over too much, or, you know, I don't like to pay for my bubble gum or whatever I steal at the store. They get this in their head. Yeah, let's defund the police. We don't need them anymore. And you get something like, what was that, Seattle or Portland? You know, where the whole section was like no police there.
Yeah.
And these people have taken a great idea and ran with it the wrong way because they didn't educate themselves on it.
Unfortunately, that happens a lot.
It does. It's like one of those things. I know not everybody is pro gun, but it's like there was a senator or a House representative, whatever she was, on TV once, and I almost had the same reaction you did earlier, where I was just like, I can't believe this ignorant blah 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 is on TV, because she was saying that if we ban 30-round magazines, eventually they'll run out and we won't have them anymore. This is a woman that's actually trying to make law, and she doesn't understand that you can put the bullets back in the magazine, because all she's seen is TV, and they just throw them away on TV. So,
oh my goodness,
people that are making the laws that don't even understand the content, what they are, this is another big problem. You know, people that don't understand what coal versus oil versus solar, they don't understand how any of it works, but they're trying to make legislation for it, right? So it all comes down to people that are speaking their truth don't even understand the content that they're trying to speak about. Do your research and respond properly. Don't just jump on the bandwagon and say, you know, because I'm white, I'm racist. I've had, I can't even remember. I honestly, I don't care about it, so I don't really think about it that much. But I have been asked, and I've had a few Hispanic girlfriends. I've had a few black girlfriends. Like I said, my family's like the United Nations, so you know, I've been lots of places, and I love women everywhere. You know, like I don't care what color you are. If as long as you're not going to stab me in bed while I'm sleeping, I'm happy. You know.
So just so the ladies out there know, Big Rob loves the ladies.
Say I'm a woman.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still friends with all but one of my former girlfriends, and maybe only talk to him once or twice a year. But I I don't care if you're Democrat, if you're anti-gun, if you're all the things that like I think I am. If you're not, it doesn't matter. That at least we have something to talk about other than whatever Kim Kardashian's wearing today, you know.
Well, would you have an issue dating someone who would call someone by their preferred pronouns?
I don't really have a stance on the pronoun thing, or trans or gender or any of that kind of stuff. I'm more of a do you if you want to swing from the chandelier naked, all buttered up while you do, that's you.
Okay, you know? This ain't that type of show, brother.
Right. That's as far as I go. That's as far as I go. But what I'm saying is, you do you, and as long as you're not hurting anybody else,
right?
You know, do whatever you want. When you start affecting other people, that's when I'm going to have a problem. And if there's especially children or innocents involved, you're going to experience what's called a mag dump. You know, so that's where you empty your entire magazine into somebody. I don't put up with people hurting the innocent.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
You know,
but
that's my only like line in the sand. Everything else is up for grabs, as long as you're not hurting another person.
So when it comes to the different debates about what is a woman, the different books, the different ages that you can start teaching sex ed to children.
That just makes me wretch. It makes me so upset. I don't have children, but I have nieces and nephews, and they're in Connecticut. So one is in kindergarten and the other one is in second grade. And they're already being exposed to those books that we see all the time on, these programs that they're trying to go to the school boards. And their mother, who's my niece, she thinks it's all great. And I just want to pound my head into the wall. I'm like, don't you know what happens to children who see these things too early? It forms their little brains and their little minds around something that is really, really dangerous. Do you know what Ted Bundy said he called that started him down the road to what he did in his life?
That's Ted Bundy is the cult leader and the murderer, and
he was the serial killer. Was an infamous serial killer.
One of the more prolific.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he did horrible things.
Wow.
But it started at age 7 when he discovered pornography, and he said he could trace it right back to that. And how it started his mind in a way that he didn't feel his mind would have ever started. But once that starts at that early age, it just gets worse and worse, and you want to up it, and the next thing you know, you're doing horrible things, which we all know what he did, so I won't go into it. But
yeah,
that scares the dickens out of me, and I try to talk to her about it. I try to be kind and easygoing about it, but she just won't listen because she's so mired in she's got the pink hair and my goodness, makes me nuts.
Yeah, it lifts her social score. It lifts her social score to be able to be accepting of all the new trends and new fads. And they're so trusting, like, oh, I know my baby is only 3 years old, but you want to teach them about sex? I guess you know better than me. You are an educator, so go ahead.
Yeah, I hate to quote music video that's so controversial right now, but that doesn't fly where I am, in a very small community here out in the country. And
try that in my town. Try that
in a small town. I mean, yeah, we're definitely. I live in Missouri, about central Missouri, around Lake of the Ozarks, and
I watched the
Ozark. A lot of. Yeah. Well, Lake of the Ozark. Yeah, that's the right near the Bagnell Dam, actually, that you see in the intro. But wow. No, we don't grow poppies here. It's mostly just weed. But no, that kind of mindset would not fly here. And this is what I try to tell people too. I'm in a lot of discords, and people find out that, you know, I have some psychology background and I'm not, you know, young, and they ask me for things, and I keep telling them, like, look, you got to stop believing the hype. The country is not a massive amount of crazy people. The majority of the country, geographically anyway, is just you and me. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the bigger cities, and I've seen a correlation in the last 30, 40 years that when you have a population center, say St. Louis, you know, ranked #1 in murders in the country for a while, that does not represent 100 miles west of
Right.
St. Louis.
Right.
And these small, tiny geographic locations have a ton of people packed in there. And there was another self-edit, by the way, because that was going to be a sugar honey iced tea ton. But but there's a ton of people packed in this area. And because of that, they have a whole different mindset, right? So when you're in, like, say, DC, where you are,
Yeah,
you don't quite understand what it means to have a cheap house that you're not sharing a wall with another person, or you actually have a yard, or like in my house when I had my kids, when I was married, you couldn't see our neighbors unless it was wintertime, because it was a good half mile to my neighbors.
wow,
Had a little 5-acre spot. We
wow.
hunted. We did all the stuff that country boys do.
Sheesh. I would like something like that. Have an ATV, a few ATVs and stuff.
Me too.
Right? No, I gave my oldest boy, just a fabulous human being. I gave him, I think he got his first pistol at 13 years old. And for about a year, there wasn't a squirrel within like a mile radius of my house, and our freezer was full, you know? So, and that makes sense to me and my neighbors and whatnot. But somebody living in DC, or you think about giving a kid a gun in DC, that's just, what? You're crazy, right? Yeah. So, yeah. But my boy knew all the safety. He took firearm safety in school. We didn't have transgender education in school. We had hunter safety and firearm safety, you know? So, I mean, it's a totally different way of life. Yeah. And people don't like it because some people think they're better for their way of life. And I'm not any better than anybody else that living in DC or Seattle. None of that stuff. It makes you better or not. That's just what worked for me. And I think it was the best way to raise my boys. So the divisiveness we have is so stupid. We need to stop believing clickbait that, you know, like, I'll even call you out, man. Yesterday, the thumbnail said we were going to talk about Whoopi. We never even got to Whoopi, did we?
I'm sorry. I'm going through a tunnel right now. This live stream is about to end.
lose a connection. You know, yeah.
You're right, bro. And guess what? We did it today too. Like with the thumbnail, I got an actual article about Jan 6 and Trump trial and all this other stuff that I wanted to show.
We can wrap it up with that, Van. We can wrap it up with that. That'll save you.
Yeah. Bring Woo in, read it to us, and get our reactions.
Yeah, let's do it. We can do it. I got a lot to say about Jan 6. Just ask me.
Oh man, I appreciate you calling me out.
No, I'm just giving you shit, bro.
All right, sorry, man. I love people, bro. So it's all good.
But that is the problem with like the town hall forum. Yeah. Is that you can easily get sidetracked, especially when you have psychos like me who have like 9 trains of thought going on in their head all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, he'd probably want to know about this. Like yesterday, I never got around to saying congratulations on 25, man.
Oh, bless
Absolutely.
You, bro. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it.
I try to teach my boys how to have solid relationships and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully they'll get there someday. And granted, I am divorced, so I guess you could call that a failure. But like I said, I talked to you yesterday. She still makes me paintings like behind me, and we're still friends and all that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't call it a failure. Yeah, I got beautiful children out the deal. Y'all got a beautiful relationship out the deal. You got memories out the deal. You became a bit softer from that relationship, whereas if you did not have your wife at some point, you might have been a little bit more reactive, a little bit more headstrong. Well, you know what I mean?
She got me out of the Army, and that was a path I was going down to where it's kind of like when I played football in high school. I played football because I loved the game and I was big, you know, and it was great. That's how it started. And then I started getting so strong that I could hurt people. And eventually it got to the point where, like, how many of the other team can I send home in an ambulance? And that was my goal, you know? So, like, I had to quit playing football just because I wasn't playing it for the game anymore. So in the Army, I was kind of going down the same path, and we're getting ready to move to Germany, and they're going to give me my staff and all that kind of stuff. And my wife goes, "Hey, I love you. I knew you were a psycho when I met you, but yeah, we can't do this. We can't continue down this route because you're on the brink right now." And I was like, "Well, all right, I guess I'll go drive a semi." So, you know.
Well, I will say this. The fact y'all joined me for a moment, I really appreciate that. But I am about to bring this to a close. I got one more gentleman that I'm going to bring up. But before I let you guys go, I do want you to just say whatever you have to say to the country, you know, from a personal standpoint. There's so much going on. So what you decide to say is completely up to you. But this is the main reason why I like to bring people up here, because your perspective is necessary, is needed, is required. And it actually goes with the reason why I started the channel anyway. A lot of people don't understand what LFR mean. It's for likes, follows, and retweets. That's only because that's today's currency. It's not money, it's attention. And I believe that is a way that we can flip that and actually have people who have something to say that has substance and is surrounded by God's love that people need to hear as well. So that's why I'm talking to regular people like myself and trying to get your heart and your guidance out there for people who may hear what you have to say. So either one of you can go first if you like.
Ladies first.
Okay, I'll just try to say this. I kind of run off at the mouth, but the way the country is right now, we are in trouble. I think everybody can admit that. We've been in trouble for a while, but we were asleep. And like I mentioned before, Trump sort of jerked the curtain back and shook out all the cockroaches. But I think I've been watching a lot of YouTube reactors like Van. I watched Doc Rich and King Blitz and his wife and all these great Cartier family, all of these great reactors. And I think what may save us are people like you all putting out the word, constantly giving good information out, and your subscriptions are building, and you're educating them the way you got educated, and they're educating other people. And because we know the mainstream media it's a propaganda arm for the political and industrial complex. I'm just going to say. So we have great podcasters like Dan Bongino and Tucker Carlson and some people that are really doing great work.
Right.
And then we have good YouTubers like you guys. So if everybody works together and we all put information out, we take information from people that are giving us, and just look at it and say, okay, this is worth putting out.
Right.
Put it out. We can actually regain our country, because we were all ignorant before. Well, they can't do that to us now.
That's right.
Last thing I'll say, did you notice that Steven Crowder just started Mud Club, which is on Rumble, and it's another kind of a network where they're going to have Alex Jones on there. They're going to have Hodge twins are on there. They're going to have a bunch of people on there. So I'll just promote them for a second, and then I'm going to say goodbye.
Much love to you. Love you too, and thank you so much for your 2 pennies, which was actually $200. Thank you so much.
Love you, Don.
Okay. Love you too, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right. What about you, big dog?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, I probably got like 1,000,000 points, but I'll try to condense it down to maybe 3. One is, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, and if there's some people out there that have like a low hope level, so to speak, like they just believe that we're just gonna, be destroyed, our country's gonna fall apart, whatever. The woke's gonna take over, or whatever you feel like is weighing you down.
Mm-hmm.
I have been paying attention. I've been disabled now for about 8 years. Right arm doesn't work, all this kind of stuff. So I'm stuck at home all the time. I'm sitting in front of like 7 screens through 3 computers. It's a nut. It looks like NASA, right? So I'm getting ready to put in 4 more screens. I've been watching the last almost decade now of what's been going on, and the trend I've been seeing is slowly and quietly there's been some pushback of stuff like the woke agenda and things like that. You see like Disney failing and Netflix's Witcher and whatever it is, they're putting these agendas in these TV shows and they're losing money, and you're seeing this pushback, and this is the perfect time for everybody to say, okay, let's get behind it. We breached the door. Everybody's starting to realize just how screwed up everything is. That's why it's the perfect time for like Sound of Freedom to drop. So people understand, people that have never been exposed to these things, they don't get how serious it is. And yes, I've been exposed to these things in a negative way and tried to be what I could be back when I was healthy. These projects that people got going on that are starting up, they're extremely important for people to realize there is hope. There is light on the horizon. However you want to put it, there is a very good chance that we will pull this out.
Right.
And some people by faith, some people by, just logical reasoning of looking at the trends. The immediate pushback that say the logical side of things is going to get are the dying efforts. You can use the indictments as an example. They are indicting him for like, oh, he didn't, he stuck his gum to the bottom of the president's desk, so we're going to indict him for that too. They're just coming up with anything they can get to, right? It's their last ditch effort. It's their swan song. Biden is their swan song.
Right.
Okay. So there is hope. We're just going to have to push through a little more. And I don't know if I'll be around to see it, but I don't think, unless we kick off another world war, I don't think that we're done. It's just the good people out there have to remember the quote, evil can prevail. What is it? All that has to happen for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing.
I like that.
This channel here, this is not standing around doing nothing. It's giving a voice, getting reasonable people, and sometimes batshit crazy people like me on, because I have too much time. I have so much time that I over blood my, what do you call it? Like overwhelm my brain with all the crap that's going on. And sometimes I just got to go watch kitten videos, just because I'm tired of it, the other
kitten
part is
awesome.
Yeah. Well, did you know, oddly enough, currently 46% of all internet content, as in videos and memes and stuff like that, is cat related.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you take out porn, because porn is like 72%.
Yeah, porn is real big. It's going to always be big. Absolutely.
But the one thing I would suggest to anyone, if they want to understand the process, because Donna had mentioned, how do these people think this way? Like, how do you get to that point where you're just jacked up in the head? Jordan Peterson interviewed Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard about the Sound of Freedom and some other stuff.
Okay.
And Peterson explains, and this guy has, much bigger degree than I have in psychology and probably 1,000 times more experience talking to people.
Yeah. I love the way he communicates.
This guy can explain it to you in a way that is great. It's only part of the video, but somebody doesn't just like, oh, oh, la la la, I'm just happy. Oh, I'm gonna eat people. You know, like I'm gonna go all Dahmer. They don't. It's not one step to there. You know,
Right.
There's 10,000 micro compromises.
Right.
To yourself and your morals.
Right.
There's a little like, oh, you know, well, I'm really broke right now, and the lady at McDonald's gave me an extra $1 in the change, and then you don't take it back. That's a micro decision, right? And then next and next thing you know, you're swinging from the chandelier all buttered up. You know what I mean? So it's 10,000 micro regressions of
Right.
your morality before you reach I want to eat people. Like,
right.
So think about that in your own life. That's what I want people to do, actually, is think about it in your own life. When you're trying to make a decision and you're like, oh, I'm too lazy to look up the facts about it, I'll just see what, the majority of people are saying. That's a micro regression of your morals. Go out there and learn, and then make a decision. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, how more simplified to put it, but I think that's a major problem. There's millions of problems for everything, but our culture today has two big ones. Lack of leadership growing up, meaning like, single family homes, and
I said one, and you are talking about 15 million things, Rob.
Sorry, my bad. I told you. You can just kick me anytime and be like, yeah. Oh, but the last thing is, I do need to get a hold of you off screen sometime.
Do me a favor. Are you on my Discord already?
No, I was trying to find it last night and I couldn't find it.
Okay, I'm going to. Can you email me at van.hall@lfrfamily.com?
Gotcha.
van.hall@lfrfamily.com, and you and I will have a one-on-one, if that's cool. All right.
Yeah, we'll make 10 hours of stock footage to make 30 minutes of sense, right?
But for everyone, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Rob, for your time per usual. Yesterday, I really enjoyed talking to you. Today, I enjoyed talking to you. Hopefully, this is not your last time.
I wasn't going to pop on because I thought, well, I better give somebody else a chance because I'm such a windbag. Well, but then I popped in and saw there was only like 1 or 2 people in queue. So I was like, well, if he runs out of people, he can always get me on.
Well, I appreciate you, big dog. And I'm about to get to our last guy, and you enjoy the rest of your day, all right?
All right. Love you, man.
All right. Peace, brother. All right. So we got one more person, believe it or not. And I am so surprised that you waited for, hopefully you didn't wait to cuss me out. But if you did, I'm here to listen to it. So how you doing, big dog? K-Woo?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, shout out to your last guest about you using the thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail, man. That I was just talking about that to someone that works with me, and I did not expect that. The conversations just got so good. Time went flying, and next thing you know, we never went over the video. I wanted to go. Yeah. So what do I deserve the fact that you came through and you're here now?
Well, I thought it was funny. Yesterday you said you didn't think I grew up in a black community. After we talked, and every community has their white boy, so hadn't been that one. But just as far as what your topic was today, as far as January 6th and all that mess going on, didn't they just come out and say they didn't keep all the documents that they had? They got rid of them.
Yes, they did. They said that they got rid of some of the documents, and they somehow don't know where they are, and they're missing records and all this other stuff. And what do you believe about that? It says Republican Congressman Barry Loudermilk, thank you for forcing me to talk about what's on the thumbnail. I appreciate that, Cable. No, but actually, I was going to talk about this, and I'm going to show it right now. Actually, let me share this. I really appreciate you getting me to pull this up, man. Because I really wanted to discuss this once I found out about it. So So here it is right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me see here. Yeah, I did want to talk to you about this, but go ahead. You was going to say something about it because you was about to say something about it.
Well, it's just that it's always convenient. It's always very convenient. And they have to prove something. Oh, well, we don't got it.
Oh yeah, we don't know where that information went.
Right.
Yeah, we can find it. But as this one says, I'm about to blow it up right now. It says Republican Congressman Barry Loudermilk, I guess that's from Georgia, says the House Select Committee that investigated Jan 6 failed to save numerous relevant records before it disbanded. Loudermilk is leading an audit of the Select Committee's findings and alleges the committee's shoddy and likely illegal work has significant gaps. Absolutely. So the whole point of this is that Loudermilk sits on the committee on a House administration and was tasked by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy with auditing the work done by the Select Committee. But he can't audit the work if it's just going missing, so to speak, if that makes any sense. If it's just,
Right.
I'm supposed to audit it. This is my job. I got to look over it to make sure that everything is on the up and up. But now I can't find anything. Where's everything? Where's all of the stuff that could potentially help, or even if it hurts Donald J. Trump? At least we got the legal documents that you guys claim to have had before. I can't find it. So who should be held responsible for this? Nancy Pelosi? Who?
Especially, I don't know. Whoever's supposed to be in charge of keeping documents.
Well, I thought documents were important to them because apparently they don't want Trump taking documents home. Although, as the president, he had the right to take them, whereas Joe Biden, when he was taking them, he was just a senator. But we're not going to talk about that.
No, yeah.
There you go. There you go. But I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that's what I was going to talk to everyone about.
Well, we got to clear it up.
We got to clear it up. See, that's why they say save the best for last. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you for having me check that out. I appreciate it. As a matter of fact, there's a whole bunch more that goes along with it, but I do think it's kind of shady, the fact that they're just missing records all of a sudden. Like it's just real weird to me.
Yep.
At any event,
well, I know you want to wrap this up.
I'm sorry?
I said I know you want to wrap this up, so I'll let you go.
Yeah, we're about to go and get it popping, man. No, but I had you waiting for so long. I was going to ask you, was there anything else that you wanted to say? You wanted to discuss anything because you were waiting, and I appreciate that. So thank you so much, actually.
Well, just like yesterday when I talked to you and you said one of the biggest things in our country, and I said turning a blind eye. Kind of what I meant is how all these people are afraid to speak up, like just the kids and all this sexualization. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely disgusting.
These cities letting the kids run wild, and just stores can't even lock people up or take their picture. Yep. People are losing their job for trying to stop from shoplifting.
Yep.
So mad world.
And there's been 2 or 3 videos that I've seen in the last 3 days of 10 or more teens running up in like stores like Fendi or Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
Oh yeah, well that's where the money's at. I mean, they're not dumb.
Yeah, and guess what happens with security? Or just move out the way. Just let them take whatever they want to take. They're running up in jewelry stores, just busting the glasses and just taking whatever they want. Security, just move out the way. Just let them do whatever they want to do.
I know.
And they did that at 7-Eleven too. They went up in the 7-Eleven, completely destroyed the 7-Eleven. It was like every teen on the block. It was boys, girls. They was like 16, 17, 12. And it looked like a couple of them was over 20. but they just let them do whatever they wanted to do, man. And I don't understand that. That's not how you raise a nation. I'm sorry, you just don't.
No.
Nobody raises their children by just letting them do whatever the hell they want to do.
Now, when 7-Eleven pulls that store, how bad is it going to hurt that community?
Exactly. And then they're gonna be like, oh, see, they're pulling all of the good stores from our community. How we gonna eat? Where we gonna get gas? Well, you messed that up.
Yep.
Yeah. But brother, thank you so much for hanging on with me, man. I really appreciate it. And for everyone else, thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. And hopefully, I just want to say to you, since you're still here, you know, God bless you. Thank you so much for continuing to rock with the channel, and thank you for your patience. That means a great deal to me. A lot of people look at what's most valuable in our lives. Well, your time is extremely valuable, and the fact that you decided to give me some of it, it means the world to me. So thank you so much, brother.
No problem. God bless you too, brother.
All right, man. You take it easy, okay?
Yep.
All right, peace. All right, guys. So for everyone that gave a super chat, I didn't say it in real time. I want to say thank you so much for the super chats. I want to say thank you so much for the commentary, for the comments, for you communicating back and forth with one another, whether you agreed or not, for you encouraging the people who came on stage and gave their 2 pennies, cut on their cameras and their microphones. That take a lot for people to do. Obviously, you know that because you probably would have done it too if you were ready or if you wanted to or something like that. But that means a great deal to me. And also, I want to say thank you just for tuning into the channel, for supporting the channel. And I want to say thank you to those who support my son's channel, LFR JoJo. When we very first started the channel, I was doing a great deal of video, tons of videos on this channel with JoJo, with my daughter Naya, who got married and moved to Florida. That's my baby, but that's my oldest one. And they made it easier. They made it more fun. And then when they left me to go to college and go on with their careers and stuff, and I started doing the channel by myself, you guys really helped me move forward. And you give me a lot of content to look into and a lot of articles to read up on, just to do my due diligence so that I know what I'm talking about when I get in front of this camera. That means a great deal to me. And just so you know too, another reason why I do these forums where I have people come on and talk and give your 2 pennies is because I started off as a podcast before starting to do reactions. And I want to get back to that where I'm talking to real individuals who are going to give me, real perspectives, no sugarcoating, no none of that. All right. And that means a lot to me. I know we heard, there was a moment in the back and forth where I got a little triggered, probably like a pinch teaspoon triggered. But that was okay because that's real life. And it's all about how you handle things. It's not about, jumping to conclusions or I knew that I judge people by their heart. And when that moment happened, I realized who I was talking to. I realized what this person represented that I was talking to. And this person that I was talking to is actually good people. So that means a lot to me. And even if I don't know you, I'm going to think the best before you give me the worst to believe or you show me the worst. That's how I move. But I really do appreciate it. But everyone that went in your pockets, I got to acknowledge you again and gave a super chat. I have to say again, thank you so much. You did not have to. The biggest thing that you can do to support your favorite YouTuber or content creator is by simply watching our content and sharing our content. We are on Locals for anyone that want to subscribe there, become a member over on Locals. That would be absolutely amazing. Locals, LFR Family, locals.com, LFR Family. Go over there, check it out. We're going to start posting more censorship-free content over there. And the type of content we can post on Locals, we actually cannot post on Patreon because apparently there's a little bit of political situations going on on Patreon as well, as PayPal is some stuff going on there too. So that's pretty much all I have. Thank you to everyone who helped me out, being a mod, communicating with people in the inside of the thread, keeping order, maintaining order, posting websites and links of LFR family for people to support. That means a lot. You hung with me for all of this time. Thank you so much. So I really appreciate you guys. All right, so we're about to go ahead and chop these bad boys up, put some content on the channel, and yeah, if y'all enjoyed this, please come back to our next lives where we will actually discuss what we claimed to, what we said we was going to discuss based off of the title and the thumbnail. And shout out to Rob for calling me out on that at the end of the video. I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Continue to love on others and continue to, most importantly, give God praise for all that happens in your life. Thank Him for life first, for health, for strength, and for everyone who has you and your family's best interests in mind and in their hearts. Okay? Love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next live stream and on the next video.